Bearcat Bounce Podcast. Back at it again, guys. Happy Monday. Happy fun Monday following another victory for your Cincinnati Bearcat football team. Scott Satterfield, another dub in the Big 12, starting out the Big 12 season with a dub. Bearcats flying high, Sorsby looking fly. It's a good time to have excitement for the Bearcats. A huge win, domination, shutout, first shutout since 2018. Big win over the Houston Cougars. We'll talk about that. But there was also something else that happened this past week. Something that was very exciting to see. Long waited, but very much deserved. It was an induction ceremony to the Hall of Fame for probably the most storied class of Hall of Fame recipients in the history of Cincinnati sports. And we had the pleasure to be joined by one of those inductees, the most electric football player of all time in the great, beautiful history of Cincinnati football. So I'm going to welcome the guys, the pals. Everyone is assembled, full group, full house. So without further ado, Aaron Smith, Chad Brendel, Ryan Royer, and the GOAT, as you'll see, Marty Gilyard. Gentlemen, how are we?
I'm good, baby. I'm good. How everybody else doing?
I mean, I couldn't possibly be better right now. We got the man.
Oh yeah.
I had a busy weekend.
Oh my God, talking about busy. It was a good
Hall of Fame. We had a Hall of Fame ceremonies on Friday. We had a Bearcats win on Saturday. Took Kelsey to and from homecoming on Saturday night. Headed down the road to Louisville yesterday. Watched Louisville get their ass kicked by Wisconsin or by Nebraska in volleyball. Total domination. Had a great breakfast. And then I was home by like 4:30, 5 o'clock. Got to relax a little bit last night. So it was a great weekend on my front.
Okay.
We got the power of the Puka here with us right now. I'm loving that. Jamar Chase just scored a touchdown. I'm loving that. So I couldn't be better right now.
Okay.
Doing good over here, man. Excited to get going into this.
There we go.
Oh, we've got one of the great debates of all time. With the three of us might have to exit when we get to the 09 versus 2021 argument.
This ain't no argument, man.
Well, we're gonna have to help explain some of the like different matchups across the board. I know some names, but yeah,
we're not starting there. That's the grand finale. Royer versus.
We gotta let everyone make their popcorn before the big show. Come on now, you gotta let things heat up before you get all the way to the kitchen, man. Let's go. But no, man, as Chad mentioned, very busy week, but none busier than the man in the middle right now, Marty. Very, very busy weekend for you, man. Obviously, just had the Ryan Geist show on Thursday, had the Hall of Fame ceremony on Friday, and then of course Saturday, just awesome recognition, game ball, getting the crowd revved up, and I just break down what this whole past week has meant to you, and before we kind of dive into your entire career and everything that came with it, just what this weekend kind of just a proof, a final stamp on just how legendary you truly were.
Well, I didn't realize. I mean, to be honest, bro, I'm out there playing the whole time. I'm out there just being me. The whole career, I'm just being me. I'm just, playing ball, bro. Happy to play. You know what I'm saying? Happy to, I wasn't happy to lose it, but I was happy to get everything back. You know what I mean? It kind of proved like, hey, I'm actually worth it. I was actually worth, the Coach D'Antonio coming down and him and Coach Hinton coming down as many times as they did. You know what I mean? Every sport I played, I seen them. You know what I mean? So for me, it was like being able to kind of justify, what we have. I mean, I wrote my name in the concrete. It's still on campus. You know what I'm saying? Me, Anthony Hulk, Terrell Bird, we all like us red as you going to TUC. You know what I'm saying? The older dorms that are right next to Turner and Schneider. That little section right there, like our names are still in the concrete right there. And ironically, when we was doing it, we was like, yeah, it's gonna be here forever. They're gonna know our names forever. We just kids back then. You know what I'm saying? Just having fun, man. And then fast forward, Hoke's the sack leader. I don't think he's been touched yet. You know, no disrespect to nobody else, but it's gonna be hard to beat what Hope did. And what's crazy is he could have had more. You know what I'm saying? I don't think nobody's gonna match what I did. You know, that's just me. Unless they catch a whole bunch of hitches or something. You know what I'm saying? But it's just the idea of me having fun and enjoying myself, man. That's what I did. I wasn't like striving to be, you know, this. I didn't even think about all the accolades until later on in the career when people was just kind of like pressing it in my face, like, "Hey, you almost had the touchdown thing. Hey, you almost had the catches. Hey, you know what I'm saying?" So it was like I didn't know. I was just trying to make plays where they needed to be made, you know, and trying to lead by example. But yeah, man, it was just a great experience to sit and see the rest of the inductees and be around. And man, when I stepped in the nip, man, and I ain't even gonna lie, I wanted to pad up. You know, I was telling coach, you know, like sneaking, like, hey, you know, telling Cunningham, like, hey, I think I gotta at least have a half a season of eligibility or something. You know what I'm saying? Just a little something, you know. Get a little something, just a little something at practice, or I can't help it, man. I'm watching kids catch the punts. I'm like, damn, I want to go catch a punt. You know, I'm watching them catch kicks. I'm like, damn, I want to go return this just one time. You know, Nip sold out. They'll go crazy if I house this. You know what I'm saying? But it was a blessing, man. It was a great feeling. It was the respect that I got from the younger players, and I know they ain't never ever they didn't even take the time to look at the highlights. And I probably was just this famous ghost forever with these young kids, you know, because they don't look into the history like that anymore. You know, you don't really pay attention to what comes before you anymore. You just striving to do your own little one too. You know what I'm saying? So it's like for them to actually see me, see the accomplishments, hear the numbers. You know, I didn't even know the numbers were like that, to be honest. You know, I didn't know it was all still standing true. You know what I mean? Because a little bit I was a little salty with UC for a little bit, so I chose to not watch for a while. You know what I mean? Um, Mistake on my end. You know what I'm saying? Just because I can't let personal feelings get involved in who I'm actually. I'm a Bearcat through and through, head to toe. I bleed this shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like I was one of those guys that came in and was like, "Oh man, I didn't get what I want. I'm sorry, screw you guys." You know what I mean? It wasn't like that with me. It was just like one, we wasn't playing Bearcat football for a while. You know what I'm saying? We was letting go games that we should have won, and it was just we were playing sloppy. And I could tell that the guys won together, and it was just hard to watch. You know what I'm saying? And then it just again being around everyone this weekend. I'm seeing Coach Elston. You know, a lot of people don't know Coach Elston. You know, I damn near cried when I seen him. You know what I'm saying? Because all the kickoff returns that y'all see and love, that's his scheme. You know, and so a lot of people don't even talk about him. They don't even think about him. They cheer me on. They love me. But it's like, man, if it wasn't for Coach Monar or Coach Elston, you know, I don't even know, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was always the kick returner every time I've been active. I've been the kick returner, you know what I'm saying, from my freshman year on. But for me to be legendary, I guess, at it, I just didn't expect it. But Coach Elston, man, he used to do wilder, bro. I had to score every practice I touched the ball. So the kicker booted it out of bounds. I'm supposed to catch that, and I'm literally supposed to still run 100 yards and score. You know what I mean? But it was you can't duplicate this feeling.
Now you
I'm
go
curious.
from
real quick, Aaron. What did you think when you walked in and you saw the renovated Nippert Stadium, the new press box, the way it looks now? What was your initial reaction to it?
I don't like it. And it's not nothing like, I mean, how can I put this? Because everybody know me, I'm just going to speak how I feel it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I didn't like it because it doesn't look like the fourth oldest stadium in the country. You know, I think something that made the NIP unique was its closed in caption. You know what I'm saying? It was really closed and it was really like right there in your face. You know, so when our fans went crazy, if we was in that end zone set where our student section was and where Gilyard gang was, any one of those end zones, man, it was on. Like you knew you can score and take two steps and be in the front row and hang out with the kids for a little bit or the fans for a little bit and then hurry up and get back into the huddle. You know what I'm saying? But it seems like it's wide, you know, it's just so open right now. You know, I could just remember the old days where I think we were playing West Virginia at home, right? And they had a basically a drone shot of up top above Nip, and you can see kids in the trees. You know, you seen people in the trees just climbing a tree, and the trees weren't that big now. You know what I'm saying? But for people to be in the tree, man, you know, trying to watch the game, trying to get a look at the game, you know what I mean? For the people that couldn't get in the game if it was packed, you know, for them to be all outside tailgating still, somebody done pulled out the TV, you know what I'm saying? They got this TV out there and everybody's still getting busy, still doing their thing, enjoying to do their thing, just wanting to watch us play. Like, literally went from not having nobody in the stadium to packing that thing. And I didn't know we were the fourth oldest until I actually just looked. You know, it tells you right on the wall, but again, nobody sees a little stamp this big, you know what I'm saying? That was on the stadium. So it's like when I walked in it, yes, it's still the same Nip. Yes, it still smells the same. I'm pretty sure if I would have rubbed the turf would have still smelled the same, you know, felt the same. Because that was one thing I did right before I hit the field. I always rub the turf, you know, or grass and rub it on my face, you know. So it's just like, do I like it? I know it's necessary. I know it's needed. You know, we deserve it to have the extra seating in there. But for me, it's like, I wish somehow, some way we could fix, you know, kept the old setting and just added the stuff up. I mean, I thought the press box was all right, you know. I ain't think it needed too much renovations, but in the same token, you know, that's back then. This is now. You know, you move forward. School made a lot of money. They got to spend it somewhere. You know, we made that money. You know, so you better spend it on us if you're gonna spend it anywhere.
Now, your life kind of was a movie. You go from sophomore year being ineligible, living out of your car, to by your senior year, you are a household name, Marty Gilyard. In the city of Cincinnati, you are a one name person. You've just kind of like Madonna, you were just Marty. Everybody knew you. Anybody talking about Marty, we know who we're talking about. And all of a sudden, you're in the Sugar Bowl and you're playing against touchdown Jesus himself, Tim Tebow, and all of the ridiculousness that was that game. But what was that? I mean, you talked earlier about, you know, just kind of realizing where you were and how you got there. But what was that whole trip like for you?
You mean in the Sugar Bowl or going to the Sugar Bowl?
Going from the car to the Sugar Bowl.
It was okay. So I didn't know how it was going to go. You know what I'm saying? Some guys are like, hey, you know, we're not playing. We're ineligible. Hey, mom. Hey, dad. You know, this shit sucks. You know, I want to come home or I want to go to another school. And it's like, for me, that decision would have made me soft as hell. You know what I'm saying? And anybody that know me know I ain't soft by no means necessary, you know. So for me, I felt like that move was a cowardly move to leave, and I'm the one that created the issue, you know. So if I would have left then, I would just kept leaving shit, you know what I mean, over and over again when it got hard, or over and over again when shit got ugly. It's just like, I just leave and fuck it, you know. But no, I said, you know what, I'm just gonna stand as true, you know. I'm not gonna tell, because again, I had a chance to snitch on a teammate that kind of was the cause of everything, the whole downhill spiral, you know. But our brother, we was like this, you know, as a unit. So for me, it's like, I'm not gonna tell on my brother. I can't tell on my brother, you know what I mean? Because I knew that he did what he did because it was a desperate move that he needed. You know, he really needed that class. And, you know, there's a few of us that needed the class, and you know, you'll do anything when stuff kind of hits hard. People think different when, you know, their back is against the wall. You know what I mean? So I can't blame him, you know, for doing what he did. You know what I mean? For me on my end, I'm just like, hey, I'd rather take the F, you know, and become ineligible and then be called a cheater. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what it boiled down to. It boiled down to cheating. You know what I'm saying? On a final exam that I didn't cheat on. You know what I mean? I actually had an A in this class the whole time. So it was either tell and, you know, get turned in as a cheater, You know what I mean? Which at UC is a big no. You know what I mean? The schools, you're banned and you're not gonna be able to come to school and none of that. You know what I mean? So it's like they had a no tolerance policy of cheating. So it's no way I was gonna cheat. I couldn't do that. I just took the F. Took the F, and I was extremely upset at my academic advisor at the time, because she's the one that proofread the papers. It's like how you missed the second and third page is completely alike. Like how you missed that. You know what I'm saying? Let alone, at the class when we actually did the multiple choice portion of the final. Like, I think it was like question 30 through 60 or something crazy like that were exactly the same. And then we turned our papers in back to back. And so it's like that whole aspect had me down for a little bit. You know what I mean? But again, man, going into all those 4 jobs, leaving the 4th, going to the field, running routes, because Coach Kelly told me if you get all your stuff together, we're gonna not only move you to wide receiver, but I'm gonna change your number. And I'm like, change it to what? You know what I'm saying? What, 7? Because I wore 7 in high school. He's like, nah, how does 1 sound? And it might not sound like much to you guys, you know what I'm saying? But
it's a big deal.
Coach D'Antonio took the number 1 away. There was no number 1. You know what I'm saying? He felt like the 1 gave a single athlete, made him an individual.
Yeah.
It took him away from the team aspect, So for him to place it on me, it was a big deal. Don't know what Kelly's seen, you know what I'm saying? But he was, Coach Hinton had, really was stern about this. Like, hey, man, he is the missing piece. I bet my job on it. So Coach Hinton put his job on the line with Kelly to show how serious he was about me. You know what I'm saying? And that was the move. So once I got back, it was on. Because that whole year I was off, I'm playing corner, I'm picking stuff off, really causing all kind of havoc in the secondary. So I'm thinking I'm coming back and it's going to be me and Mike Mickens. You know what I'm saying? And then he said wide receiver. I'm like, God, I don't know how to run no routes. I don't know how to stem, and I don't know how to set people up. I wasn't used to catching the ball out of the break like that. I can't tell you how many times I got hit in the head. Ball go through the hands and or I'm running a route, run the wrong route, you know what I'm saying? Or get jammed up into the Gatorade. And I can't tell you how many times that this happened. Like, it was a lot. It was a lot of hard work and dedication and a lot of swallowing your pride that went into that. But we got it right. And my redshirt sophomore year, I think it was like 36 catches or something like that. I couldn't see the ball. Like the dramatic change that y'all see in the stats, I don't know nobody that went from 30, 35 to I think 82, out of nowhere, and you're still not the number 1 receiver. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like at that point, I still wasn't even my junior year, I wasn't really the number 1. I didn't become like the actual number 1 to maybe like after that first quarter of the season. You know what I'm saying? Because we were still trying to find different matchups and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But we got that situated. Then you come in my junior year, I blow the top off. Well, excuse me, before my junior year, that summer, I got eye surgery. So I got LASIK. Yeah. Hell yes. And that was probably the best decision that I've ever made. I think the picture of my eye still might be up in what's the name of the doctor's office that did it in Cincinnati? Jesus, I can't think off the top of my head.
Place in Kenwood?
I think so.
I think it was in Kenwood. The place that used to be just all the windows were just a giant eye.
Basically, yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't even know what stigmatism was in your eye. You know what I mean?
Oh my God.
I did not know. Shit.
And you had no glasses, no contacts, nothing.
None. So what happened was when the eye surgery happened, like I couldn't see. First off, I had a girl at the time. She could have did anything to me, man. I was blind for 30 minutes. Like for 30 minutes, I'm literally like your eyes closing, your hands over your eyes. It was that dark. I didn't know it could get that dark. You know what I mean? And she had to walk me around. Hey, baby, here's a step. Hey, baby, here's another step. Hey, baby, here's the car. Hey, baby, sit down. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Hey, baby, here's some food. Hey, baby, here's something to drink. You know what I'm saying? She could have been giving me a bottle of bleach for all I knew. You know what I mean? And
Thank God she didn't, man. Jeez.
But you feel me? But soon as the vision came back, it was like I was so excited. I was running on the other side of the house to read the shit that came down at the bottom of the screen on ESPN, you know? So it's like stuff I couldn't see before. Now I could see it huge. It was like, golly, this what I've been missing.
You had no idea that the ticker even existed on ESPN, huh?
Right. You know, you would just see like the stuff move, but I could never read it. So now it was like everything was moving in slow motion and I could see everything like in big bold letters. You know what I mean? And I remember walked outside and I was like, oh my God, it was a sunny day, but the light, I couldn't take it in because my eyes was taking in so much. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right.
So the stigmatism, I didn't know that it meant the shape of your eye.
So it's like, so let's take it back though, Marty, real fast. Flagler, what was it? You went to Flagler Palm Coast, right?
Coast. Yep, Flagler Palm Coast High.
Running back, 2,500 yards, 30 touchdowns.
I got busy, I got busy. But again, it's crazy because my high school matches my college, basically. So like my freshman year in high school, I came in as a quarterback, played JV quarterback, we were undefeated. I was varsity ready right then, I think halfway through the season on JV, our varsity running back gets hurt. And I was one of our first mobile type quarterbacks at our school. And so the running back gets hurt, I get moved up, and I've been chewing our varsity up the whole time. So freshman comes up, blah, 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 blah. He's doing his thing. Everybody's trying to do the big senior, bring them in type thing. And I'm just shaking people back left and right and running people over and just doing my thing, throwing the ball all over the place, hanging out, just having fun for real. And the coach looks at me. He's like, I'm going to tell you this right now. Not playing no motherfucking quarterback. I was like, damn. You're going to play running back. So my first game, I had 133 yards. And my cousin demanded for me to play defense with him. He said, if I don't play, he's not playing. He was our star. Freddie Walker. He was our star. My first cousin, love her to death. He's like a big brother to me, He said, I swear to God, coach, these motherfuckers are not playing. If you don't pull that goddamn cousin in, I'm not going out there no more. And they put me in the game, and 3 picks later, 133 yards, 3 touchdowns. Yeah, 3 touchdowns. 2 touchdowns, 2 rushing, and a pick 6. Wow. And coach is like, well, shit. Well, before I went in, he looks at my cousin and says, you better be fucking right. And I got in and did my thing, man. And then, my sophomore year, I catch a drug charge. So I get kicked out of school again. It was petty. It wasn't nothing crazy. Like I got caught with a kilo of cocaine or nothing like that. I just got caught with a little bit of weed. At school, which is crazy because I was just sitting down at school. I had a half a joint on me, and I'm in the front of all my classes. My teachers, when the police came to get me, my teachers were like, whoa, what's going on? Like, this kid the best student I got right now. Like, there's no way and I'm reeking. I didn't realize how much, when you smoke, you don't realize how much you smell like smoke to everybody else. You know what I'm saying? So you're in your own little world just chilling, and then police come and escort me halfway through the transition. The arresting officer was my pot water coach. And he's like, I can't believe you making me do this to you. He arrests me. I have to go to alternative school for a year. I come back with a 4.0. Junior year, I'm ready to go. 1608, I think, is what I ended up with on like 100 and something carries for the whole year, which is crazy numbers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everybody knows the 20-something tubs, and I got hurt my senior year. I had a hurt elbow, UCL, so I was out a few games, and then still ended up with over 1,000. So I was good. I felt good. I got offered, but don't be publicized, I guess, that much. Everybody gets stuck on me being a 2-star from Rivals. But I got recruited by everybody. I got offered by pretty much everybody. And I'm trying to figure out where I want to go to school. I go in my room, and I had a 6-drawer dresser, and I just reach into all the drawers. I dump all the letters out. and I throw them all in the air, and Cincinnati was the last one to flutter down to the bed. And I grabbed it, and I'm like, you know what? Cincinnati, fuck it. You know, I don't. California's too long. Georgia's too close. The Carolinas are too close. Tennessee's too close. You know, fuck that shit. You know. And I didn't even know what Cincy was. I had to go to my stepdad and be like, Pop, you know what Cincinnati is? Because he was a trucker. And he's like, yeah, you know how to get up there? He was like, give me a second. He runs to the store, grabs an atlas. This is before all the, you know, Google Map, MapQuest, and all that shit, you know. So he opens up the atlas, and right at the bottom of the atlas, it'll tell you, like, hey, this amount of space equals, you know, 10 miles or 100 miles.
Like measuring the fingers,
Yeah, so we were measuring the fingers on the trip, and he's like, yeah, it's about 870 miles, give or take, son. That's going to probably take us, if we drive 70 miles an hour, it'll probably take about 12 hours or so to get there. I'm like, damn, you know, and we went, you know, and my reason for going was D'Antonio and Hinton's, like, consistency on being there, me always seeing the see part one, but two, I did not know where, since I couldn't even point Ohio out on the map. So that was another clutch thing. So that's how I ended up at Cincinnati. You know what I mean? You know, fast forward, you know, we're talking my sophomore year, I was an All-American kick returner. That redshirt sophomore year I came back, I was an All-American kick returner. And then my junior year and senior year, I repeated that. I just wanted to get better as a receiver and did that. And then, you know, we had the whole Sugar Bowl debacle. You know, even before that, we had the whole Pitt debacle is what I call it. Because we didn't have no coach for a while. You know what I mean? Like that week, a Pitt week was a long week because we didn't have nobody. You know, Kelly was nowhere to be found.
Before we get too deep into that, before we get too deep into that, we got to talk about a couple games real fast. I want to hear about that. First, the Oklahoma game at Oklahoma, because I don't know if you pop on YouTube at all, but you know, big shouts to Nate Bones 85 is a YouTube user. I don't know if he even knows we exist here, but he put your highlights of that game to a little Roy Jones Jr. Can't Be Touched, and I probably watched that video single-handedly 150 times. But
I send that video to the plenty of people, man. You know what I'm saying? Just excuse me, y'all, with my camera. I had to plug my phone up.
You're good.
Get my bag on. Can y'all see me?
Yeah,
you're good.
You're good.
Oh,
he's not good.
No, you're not good.
He'll be back. Oh,
I was wondering if you had to get the LASIX redone.
I can't see you guys. Yeah, I mean, Marty will be back. The GOAT will be back. Royer, I know you're holding your voice in so that you don't get you don't lose it.
I'm just all ears right now, man. I've never gotten this much of a story before. I don't really know his story, so it's just trying to listen in and get
straight up, Ryan.
There's never been
a better offensive player in the history of University of Cincinnati football.
I know that.
Never.
But the offer letter story is absolutely insane.
Everything about this entire story is literally a movie script. You could not write a better story.
They literally throw the letter up as like something you'd see in like a football movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, think about that. Think about all the things he did, and like it came down.
Sorry, y'all.
You're back.
I was just saying how crazy it is. All the things he did for UC, it literally came down to that letter floating down a little bit slower than everything else. Man, that's crazy.
But man. So the Oklahoma game. Okay, so I came into that game cocky as hell. Just because I was the heaviest I ever played with. You know what I'm saying? I was 197 that game. You couldn't tell me shit. I felt good all week carrying the new weights. You know, so for me, it was like, hey, I don't feel like nobody gonna be able to deal with me. Oklahoma was a bigger team. Back then, they had a big-ass safety. I think it was Nate Collins. It was his name, if I'm not mistaken. He was built like a linebacker. Dude was like 6'3", like fucking 220. You know what I'm saying? Played free safety. He was thick and shit. You know, you look at him on film, and he hitting the motherfucker, and they sliding 3-4 yards. You know, he's coming up on big tight ends and smacking them. He's coming up on everything and handling his business, man. So it's like, for somebody like that you know, to do what they did, and for me to come in that game, I'm just ready to go, you know, and trying to get everybody to understand, like, hey, this is us. Like, we actually have a chance. Like, don't trick it off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the guys, like, everybody, let's just say we had a few guys that actually believe that we can win. Majority of our guys did not. You know what I'm saying? And again, I don't want to say no disrespect to nobody, but that's just what it was. You know, more guys were like happy that we were at Oklahoma, and they looking at the stadium, they looking at the fucking horses run around and shit, and you know what I'm saying? So they were more can like stuck on that, because you know, you're a college football fan, man. I know how it feels to be overwhelmed by a stadium and the fans when we went and played Penn State. And they have 111,000 in their fucking stadium, and it's an all-white game, and then you got maybe 20,000 people in blue and navy blue. So you'll look over at one point, if it's third and long, and you'll see this big-ass blue P. You know what I'm saying? In a sea of red, you see this big-ass P, you know, and they're loud, and they're going crazy. It was like the stadium, I remember putting my Gatorade down, right? And it was third and long. And they're cheering so loud that my Gatorade starts shaking like this, just like Jurassic Park, and then the shit falls over. And I'm like, I didn't even know this was possible for shit to be this loud. Like the sound to have actually waves to move and drop a cup off the bench. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So that was heavy, and I remember like them kicking it to me, and you know, I'm like, okay, this shit's almost there. Like, I really kept popping, but I couldn't really get out like I wanted to. I just kept popping, you know, 40-yarder here, 30-yarder here, maybe a 50 here, and then I'm tackled, you know what I'm saying? Then like, you know what? I gotta break this motherfucker. I gotta figure out a way to get these motherfuckers. So I stemmed the opposite direction on this particular kick I took to the house. I did it opposite of what I usually do. So it was return right. I went directly to the right first, and then I came back to the left and went vertical like it was a middle return. Got everybody to kind of suck in, and then you see me cut back out into the hole. And then I want to say the kicker took a bad angle. No, the first time I popped, the kicker took a decent angle and caught me going out of bounds, right? And make it look like it's a huge hit, and everybody going crazy. You sorry, motherfucker, that was our kicker, da 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 da. And I remember getting up and looking at the Oklahoma sideline. I said, bitch, you kick it to me one more time, I'm going to the crib. You feel me? Tell him to kick it to me one more time. And that's what he did. He kicked that motherfucker, dummy. And boom, you know, I did the same setup. But this time the kicker got caught up. And now I was able to get out. And now I'm out and I'm on y'all. So now what y'all gonna do? You know? And at that point, you know, I remember telling the guys, actually, no, that didn't come up then. I told the guys about the 95 yards after this game. So I got to the 5, Dove scored. And now the team's going crazy. And I remember coming to the sideline, bro, we got a chance to win this motherfucker. They ain't no better than us. Like, they put their pants on just like we do. You know, the whole cliche line. They put
it was 28-20 at that point.
We had a chance to whoop them. You know what I mean? Now me and Goody can go back and forth about what we should have did and what should have happened and this, that, and third. You know, me and bro talk about this, you know, talk about that particular game a lot. But for me, it was just like, all right, we have a chance to whoop him. Goody, you straight? Goody, like, you know I'm good. I was like, all right, bet. Bones, you straight, bro? He's like, yeah. I was like, all right, bet. Shit's gonna come. All of us don't have to ball. So let's ball, you know. And we all came out, we made good plays, but, you know, we let up a couple bad ones, and the couple bad ones is what pretty much led to all the stuff going downhill, you know. So we couldn't get out of that hole. With a team like, at that time, you know, I think they had Sam Bradford, DeMarco Murray, you know what I mean, on offense. What was the other guy's name? They had another receiver that was smooth too. But they had a team, man, you know what I mean? And we wasn't there just yet. Now, if that 08 team, you know, that 09 team would have played them boys, probably would have beat their ass. You know what I mean? But because we were in a whole different mindset. It's like I was the leader of that team. Yes, I was the leader and captain of the 08 team, but I still had captains. You know, it's a seniority thing. So I still had captains, even though I was a captain amongst them. They were still up here to me. You know, it's like kind of like you and your big brother become adults. He's still your big brother. You grown, you know, but he's still your big brother. So you still gotta listen. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we're gonna follow y'all. I'm gonna help everybody else follow suit, you know, but we gotta follow y'all. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But that 09 team, I think we're so special because not just for me being who I was, but now we actually truly knew that 05 class, it was on us now. You know, and you've heard me say this, that 05 class is the most talented football class that UC will ever get. It's going to be hard to beat that class. You know, it's going to be hard to beat that class, man, just because we were a set of brothers, right? We were young. You know, we were still young. I mean, we're talking about 22, 23 years old type shit. You know what I mean? I know the 21 class did they thing, which y'all old as fuck. We'll get to this. We'll get to that. You know, but when you're dealing with that kind of youth and we still leading like we was and still had everybody following suit, that team really believed we couldn't be beat for real. Yeah. Because of the 3 summers we put in before that. You know what I mean? It wasn't no fucking going home and enjoying spring break or enjoying summer break on the beach or none of that shit. It was y'all keep y'all ass here in Cincinnati in the summertime. We're not going nowhere. I got a crib off campus. We're going to go hang out there if you need it. You feel what I'm saying? I got female friends who got friends. So if you want some, I got you covered. You know what I'm saying? Like you want to sit there, you want to, you know, get a little wet. I got you. You covered. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it was you needed, I had it. So it wasn't going to be like, or I had access to it. So it wasn't going to be like, hey, you're going to be out here in the streets and something happened to you, or you out here in the streets and get pulled over for drunk driving. No, if you drank at my house, you're not going home. Yeah. You're staying the night because we can't afford this shit. You know what I'm saying? Whereas the other bunch, it would have been like, yeah, you're grown, you do your thing, but bro, you kind of on your own. I ain't finna take all that in, all that responsibility in. You know what I'm saying? So it was just like, for us, like we knew that 09 class, like we just knew that we were gonna, like before we went undefeated, we knew we were gonna be special that year. We just didn't know how special, you know. And I think the mindset of us was like, we're gonna take every week as if it's the first week. You know what I'm saying? And we're coming out of summer camp. You know that feeling when you're coming out of summer camp. You just want to get on somebody's ass, man. You're tired of dealing with your teammates. You're tired of hitting your teammates. You're tired of running the same fucking play that they already know you finna run, and now you got to do all this spectacular shit. You know what I mean? So at that point, we're like, all right, we're gonna take this feeling we had that first game. I think it was Southwest Missouri State, one of them. And we're gonna take this game and we're gonna make this shit, you know, we're gonna make this here every week thing. So we're not gonna look past this team to go to that team. No, we're gonna look at this team. We're gonna focus on this team's strengths and weaknesses, and we're gonna beat the shit out of them. Then after that game, you know, we'll be like, hey, it's a, you know, Saturday night. Hey, we're gonna go enjoy our win. Hey, Sunday, I'll holler at y'all. Y'all know where we at. You know what I mean? And we're back in film, you know, preparing for the next team. And I think that's what made that team special was we were able to take away all of our differences. We were able to swallow our pride. We were able to just create this brotherhood that we didn't know was going to be there, especially when we all decided in those last 2. Now, all 3 summers, it was the same rule, but of course, some people tried you. You know what I'm saying? And they paid for it in more ways than none. You know, like we were a physical bunch, leaders. So if you fucked up, I was going to get on your ass. You know what I'm saying? Or one of our linemen or one of our D linemen or a combination of all those are going to get on your ass. You know what I'm saying? Youngsters, if they are mouthy, they ain't want to listen, we're going to put hands on you. You know what I mean? Period. You know, just like a big brother would. You know what I'm saying? And what happened in the locker room had stayed there. It wasn't like one of the youngsters would sneak up to coach and be like, oh, coach, all this, all that. You know, no, hell no. You know, we wasn't that kind of bunch. So we took our licks on the chin. You know what I'm saying? We swallowed our pride. You know what I mean? And that shit, those 2 things right there and accountability mixed with it, bro, that's a winning combination. You can't beat that shit. You know what I'm saying? And our moms knew each other and loved each other. You know what I'm saying? like it was different, you know, and I can't explain that more. It was just different, you know, like when you got moms and man hanging with each other and they don't even know each other, you know, especially if your kid is like the star or your kid is, you know what I'm saying? A lot of moms, when you come from nothing and your son's that guy, they come in all flashy and all, oh, my son is my son. It was nothing like that. You know, it was just like, hey girl, who your son is? Oh, your son number 1? Oh my God, girl, he got a plan. Who your son is? Oh, my son 17. Oh my God, girl, I like him. His name Aaron, ain't it? You know what I'm saying? So my mom and Bird's mom, Aaron's mom, fucking Connor's mom, fucking Kelsey's mom. You know what I mean? Like all our moms, when they got around each other, bro, you ain't know who was who for real. You know what I mean? So that's what made it again special too. So like our parents trusted us as young men to do something that they might have even seen, you know, the positivity in, or they might not have seen the light at that end of that tunnel, you know, because parents want you home, they haven't seen you all year. So we made a decision like, you know, mom, this is something that I know, or dad, this is something that I know is going to better me. And in essence, it's going to give you what you want to, you know what I'm saying? You want me to become a better man, better on my own 2 feet, not needing mom like that, you know, being accountable for things, you know what I'm saying? Those are things as a young man you need to really have. And when you're doing those things as a parent, and I'm a parent now, like once my kids get to that age and they hit me with that big, hey, dad, I really thought about this. All right, cool. If you thought about it, tell me the pros, tell me the cons, and then tell me why. You know what I'm saying? And we were a bunch of guys that were like, all right, mom, look. All right, dad, look. Like, we're really good, but we got to stay together. We can't leave. You know what I'm saying? And man, that made us powerful, man. That made us the most scariest team that ever come through the UC. You know what I mean? And we wasn't big like Corleone. You know what I'm saying? Now, did we have big motherfuckers? Yeah, we had Derek Wolf. You know what I mean? He was a big ass motherfucker. You know, we had John Hughes, Chief John. You know, he a big ass motherfucker. You feel me? You know, we had those big guys, Ricardo Matthews. We had these big motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? But we did you so bad with speed. And now I ain't talking about 4-2, all of us. No, I'm talking about from the time the referee put the ball down to the time we hiked the ball. That's what made us the most dangerous team ever in history. So that's when we get to the debate on who was going to win. Look, man, I could have been a fan watching both teams, and I would have said that team, the 09 team, just simply because of how we played. We beat the shit out of teams like we was an SEC school, but not physically. You know what I'm saying? We didn't come out there raw a bunch. No. We finna see if you in shape every week. Because we in shape. We run 100 play practices, you know, 100 perfect play practices. You know how hard that shit is? You know what I'm saying? The coach gonna find something. Lineman stepped the wrong way. Marty, you were supposed to be 1 yard here. Armand, you should have been over here at the bottom of the numbers post to the stop, even if he called it. Run the shit back. Armand, you're supposed to be at the bottom of the numbers. Marty, you're supposed to be over here. Bones, you're supposed to be over here. You know, it was always something. You know what I'm saying? And then you get to the game, you like, you know, we get to the third quarter, and I'm like, shit, I feel like I just came out of tunnel. You know what I mean? It's the first play of the game type shit. So but you look at the other team. You know, the one team that stands out the most is probably that South Florida team with George Selvey and Jason Pierre-Paul and all those guys on defense, right? We got to the second quarter, and I swear to God, we threw missile, which is that screen that you guys see me run a lot on the highlights, where I'm just coming down, I catch it, I split, I cut cross, and all that extra good stuff, right? That's called missile. And so missile, by the time we ran maybe 4 or 5 missiles, right? Every time we ran the George Selvey side, we came back, ran it the JPP side, ran it again on JPP side. I think we had 3 on JPP side and 2 on Selvey side. And what's crazy is you hear them say, "Oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck," and their hands on their hips. I'm like, oh, it's over for them. You know what I'm saying? They're sweating hard, they breathing hard, cats are cramping up. I'm like, oh, it's over for them. And we ran their ass in the dirt. You know what I mean?
Hit him with the secret weapons, Zach Colaros too.
Now Zach. Okay, so Zach wasn't ready, but he had to be. You know what I'm saying? Because Pike was frail back then, man. and Pike had wrist issues, and you know what I'm saying. So it was like when Pike's on, you ain't gonna find nothing better, right?
Yeah.
But when Pike got hurt, it's like fuck. You know, hey Zach, you got to be ready. You know, and if I'm not mistaken, I was Zach's first ever touchdown. You know, his first play. I think his first play ever, first pass. I hit the seam. I hit the seam. He throws it to me. I catch it. I think we ran skinny was the play, and I shot through the middle. They split the coverage in a 2, and I shot through the middle, avoided the linebacker. He throws a beautiful ball right over to Mike's head. I caught it, made a couple moves, split the defense, run in for a tub. And Zach, the first thing he had told me when I got to the sideline, he hugs me. He says, "Man, thank you for my first." I was nervous as fuck, big bro. You know what I'm saying? So like Zach's out there shitting bricks, and you know, again, you don't know the plays that you make, how big they are. You know what I'm saying? But it was huge to bro. Like me, I was just trying to get in the end zone so we can get this team up out of here early, so I can get off the field early, so I can make sure I rest my body for the next game. You know what I mean? But Zach coming in, man, it was a blessing in disguise because the little Greek freak, man, you know what I'm saying? He was able to run too. Yeah. You know, and that's something Pike couldn't do. So he could throw, but he didn't have the experience. He could run, you know what I'm saying? Because he was doing his thing in scout team too now. You know what I mean? He could run, but he just wasn't there yet up here with all the knowledge Pike had. You know, Pike was doing a lot of checking. You know, Zach had to like run what was called. You know what I'm saying? And left the checking kind of up to us. Like we might say, "Hey, Zach, alert, 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 right there, right there, right there." You know what I mean? That stuff you guys can't hear. You know, as fans, like you can't hear us saying, "Hey, right there, right there, right there." You know, or Jeffrey Lincolnbach pointing out somebody that might be coming so Zach can get his eyes over there. You know what I mean? So it was like a complete total effort. Having Zach was a plus, a major plus, man. But having guys like, you know, Jeffrey Lincolnbach, man, who never gets talked about, you know, he kind of gets overshadowed because, you know, Kelsey is all pro in the league and all this shit. And you know what I'm saying? But we had some great linemen, man. You know what I mean? That really stood tall and handled business for us, you know? So when it came down to it, man, like at the end of the day, you know, we were a really great team. We were really fast, you know, we beat guys into the ground, you know, it's a real lovely thing. But going kind of doubling back a little bit to the Sugar Bowl, right? So Sugar Bowl game, we're pissed that we got to play in the Sugar Bowl, you know. So that's another reason why the game kind of didn't go our way. It was like we had a lot of guys that really just didn't give a fuck, you know what I'm saying? About that game. We didn't have no coach, so guys are arguing for no reason about simple shit. My cleats, bro, you had choice of, we all had choices of multiple cleats that we could have got from Adidas, bro. Like we're good. Like Adidas, if one thing they're gonna be comfortable on your feet. They made for soccer players. You know what I'm saying? So guys were complaining about simple shit, man. My mouthpiece, my belt on my pants, my scrap on my shoulder pads. You know what I'm saying? Shit that could have been taken care of before the game, but everybody waited to during the game to complain about. You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it was just, you know, that whole spiel. You know, going back to that, like I said, going back to that Sugar Bowl game, it was hard. You know, should we have won? I felt like we should have, but we were pissed in the beginning because we watched the Texas-Nebraska game from that year. And that was a total fucking blown call by the referee.
Disgusting.
You know what I'm saying? It was fucking shitty, bro, because Colt McCoy drops back and Ndamukong Suh fucking does what he does, annihilates the double team. You know what I mean? Comes in, Colt McCoy throws the ball to Jesus, you know, and the rule is, and this is black and white, the clock will not stop on a thrown pass out of bounds unless the ball touches something that's already declared out of bounds.
Right.
So if I chuck the ball, the clock's going to continue to run until the ball hits the stands, the ground, you know what I mean? A person catches it or something like that. So he throws it sky high forever, and it sucked off all the 3 seconds that was on the clock. You know what I mean? And the referee comes back, if I'm not mistaken, he gave them 1 or 2 seconds or 1. Justin Tucker, motherfucker. And Justin Tucker comes out, that fucking golden foot of his, you know what I mean, and boots like a 60+ yarder. You know what I mean? Straight through the middle like a crack on butt cheeks, man. You know, and I was just, you know, I had all the guys at my crib watching it on TV. Like, I might even broke my TV if I'm not mistaken. Like, mad as hell because we know based off the rules, we know we're supposed to be in the Natty. Based how the BCS was set up, based how our conference, we were a true BCS conference at that time. So it wasn't like we're gonna sneak into a nice bowl. Like, we didn't want the Sugar Bowl. Y'all had us fucked up. Like, yeah, we had the cheer and all that stuff when the cameras were on us, but we were really pissed because we're like, how in the fuck we don't make the Natty? We're the only undefeated team in the nation. The only one. You know what I'm saying? The only one in the BCS class that's undefeated. You know, Florida and Alabama had them played each other. Alabama, I think, lost earlier that year. They had one loss, if I'm not mistaken. And then they came and beat the shit out of Florida in the SEC championship. So Florida was already upset, you know, but really Alabama exploited Tim Tebow's ability to not fucking throw. Like, bro can't throw worth shit. You know what I'm saying? So we get the call, you know, fucking Sugar Bowl, and I'm pissed. You know, in my mind, I'm like, this shit is fixed. You know what I mean? Like, there's no fucking way we don't make it to the Natty. This shit is fixed. I'm convinced now. You know what I mean? This shit is scripted. There's no way they don't pick us. How you don't pick us? We the most electrifying team in the country. You know what I mean? Like, we're really, and this is not just because I went to school there. It was like, okay, here's a stat for you from that year. We were the worst team in time possession, but like the second or third highest scoring team in the nation. Insane. You know what I'm saying? So that tells you.
That's wild. That's absolutely wild.
You feel what I'm saying? So that tells you, one, we didn't have the ball that long, but two, we scored the fuck out of the ball. We scored a lot fast. You know what I'm saying? So we didn't get credit for how you don't put that in the Natty, the team that's hot as a firecracker on offense. You know what I'm saying? Defense, we had a couple holes here and there, but they still stayed strong like they were supposed to. You know what I mean? When you got an offense like ours, you know, it's either one or the other. Your offense gonna be the shit, and your defense gonna be all right, or your defense gonna be the shit, or your offense gonna be all right. You know, that's just how this works in football. You know what I'm saying? You rarely find a team where their defense is number one and their offense is number one. You know what I'm saying? That shit don't happen like that. You know, so. Going to the Sugar Bowl again, we're all pissed. And again, before.
I think he's still here, but
I don't know.
Got a little turn. Reuter, it's almost your time. I hope you're prepping yourself over there.
Man, there's nothing I can say that's gonna convince him. And he's got way more
numbers.
He's got way more receipts than me, bro. He's gonna wipe me clean. He is.
Could you guys keep up with the high pace tempo team like that? You think? I'm trying to remember if there was any team that was high tempo.
Yeah, like we did all right with them after they obliterated us on College game day. They never did it again, but but that was probably our only experience with that type of like quick game stuff. But
I mean, they played that in 2019, and you guys took care of it.
Yeah. That was our thing. It was like we always thought we had like that. Those first couple of years, we're like, all right, we got these plans, and it felt like all those like unique offenses we got railroaded in like the first 2 years, and then like we
the Navy game,
redo it all. Let's do this new thing, and then the new thing just worked really well with both teams. But dude, that Navy game was unbelievable. It was like that Memphis game this past weekend. Yeah. Their quarterback went to Gilyard, the rival high school to mine,
Oh,
He
really?
he was a triple option quarterback at.
They're actually throwing the ball.
Yeah, but he ran for what? Do you have 6 touchdowns?
Yeah.
The hell,
It
man!
went wild.
Do you see that if they both win this weekend, it'll be the first time Army and Navy are undefeated since 1940?
Yeah.
Some shit like that.
And did you hear the possibility that they would have to play each other at the end of the year? And then, because is Army in the AAC now?
Out West, are they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're trying to bring in Air Force so they have all 3.
Where?
In the
They're all
AAC.
in the American? Yeah.
So it could be Army Navy in the championship game, then Army Navy the following week.
In a game that doesn't count.
Right. But the winner might possibly then go to be that final team in the playoff. It's wild. It's wild. But gosh, man, Marty
died.
I was gonna say I hope his phone didn't die, but I think that's the case.
He plugged it in, is what he said.
Yeah, he said he was plugging it in. We need to touch on a few things, and then it's we gotta hear he was revving up towards it, but we gotta hear the BK thing, just to peel the curtain back and break it down for us, and then after that,
all right, we got him.
All right,
he's coming back.
We were waiting for him to connect his mic and cam, and then we can add him.
Okay. Some legendary stuff coming out of old Marty.
This might just be it. We might not get to anything else.
I mean, let's be honest. The Houston game we demolished Houston, and there's not much more that needs to be said about that game.
Nothing really exciting happened other than just Sorsby looking smooth as butter. That's about it.
Yeah, Marty, one quick aside. What were your thoughts on the game on Saturday? Just a quick thought of this year's Bearcat squad before we dive back into the story.
I think the receiver play can be a lot better. You know what I'm saying? I think the guys can get open better. You know what I'm saying? Save yourself a lot more space to make all these harder ass catches. You know what I mean? Right. I didn't see them move anybody, if that makes sense. Like me as a receiver, I was always taught like, okay, if a guy's sitting inside and you got you something, medium to deep, you got to keep that motherfucker inside. You know what I'm saying? So you got to make a move towards him inside, or get him to freeze his steps, or you got to give him some type of inside threat, so he can kind of give you some work outside. It's like always have what I call with my kids when I do my training, with MC1 training, I tell my receivers, hey, if he wants to stay there, cool, keep his ass there. You know what I mean? Keep him there. If we got something that's going away from him, keep him there. That's how you get open. When you hear about these NFL receivers, Chase and all these guys, you know what I'm saying? They do decent jobs majority of the time of keeping the guy where they are, using the guy's technique against them. You know what I'm saying? And I remember number 8. I can't think of his name off the top of my head, but number 8 had one of those tubs on the back end right in front of me, actually. And I'm going off, and everybody's wondering why. Because I'm like, why the fuck he made it all? It's hard ass catch. He didn't have to do all that. You know what I'm saying? Right. First off, he didn't stack the corner. I'm real particular when it comes to receivers and returners and DBs. You know what I'm saying? One, because I played both of them at an extremely high level. All 3 of them at extremely high level. You know what I'm saying? And I was coached extremely good with those. Like, I was the best in the country, they're going to say. Especially in my kick returning. There was no better kick returner in the country than me, for those years.
No doubt.
And if I'm not, I have to check the record books one more time, but I think I was either close or I broke Rocket Ishmael's record when it came to kickoff return yards per return. You know what I'm saying? I was either close to it or I broke it, and I was able to do things in that nature, like when it comes to getting open, like Bones and Goody. Goody was like a 4.7, bro. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you wouldn't have known he created so much space. You know, Bones was out there. He the first motherfucker that taught me as a receiver, you're supposed to be playing basketball on grass. You know what I mean? So Bones, if you look at him and his route running ability, he was probably the most crispy out the bunch because he literally played like he was playing basketball. You know what I'm saying? It was so hard to deal with him. And Goody Feet was just like Kyrie Irving. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So Goody was like, he was almost unguardable in my opinion. He was damn sure unpressable. You know, you couldn't even press that man. You better not press that man. You know what I'm saying? So dealing with watching the game, you know, when I was in the field suite, watching the game, I'm just like, man, our receivers could do a way better job at really slipping the guy and stacking them so our quarterback can just drop him a nice dime. Same ball that was put out there, right? But now all you have to do is just let the ball come over your shoulders, make you a nice, easy catch. Now you got this dude kissing your ass, you know, DB. Opposed to DB sitting there, think that they coach prime and you know what I'm saying, and all this extra stuff. And now they don't widen you a little bit off your spot, and now you're damn near out of bounds and gotta make you this damn toe tapper. And it's like now you're leaving it up to the referee, and you know what I'm saying? And we have a sophomore Q, so you really need to help him by getting your ass way more open. So when he dropped that ball in there, we all right. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't have to make no damn Peyton Manning or a Tom Brady throw every goddamn throw. You know what I'm saying? He could really have a bad throw, but you make it look good, and then y'all talk about it on the sideline. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. You don't have to need, you know, your length or your speed as a receiver. All those are pluses. You feel me? You can be short, like, you know, Steve Smith, and still be an all-pro. You know what I mean? But Steve Smith know how to get open. You know how to move a guy. You know what I'm saying? Move them, keep them there, you know, stem them, do something besides just run. You know what I mean? Y'all just running. Y'all doing all this cute shit at the line, and that shit's timing. And I guess, you know, that's today's game now, you know, all this fucking dancing and all this cute shit. You know what I mean? Like, I'm even watching guys score, and you ain't even where your teammates, they comment. I'm watching other guys come, but I'm also watching the guy who made the play. He more concerned about, hey, y'all see me in the camera? Yeah, y'all see me? Yeah, I did that. Then the rest of the guys come in like, oh, y'all here? Oh, what's up? Y'all love y'all. You know what I'm saying? Though, you know, so I see that more now than anything. Does it irritate me? Yeah, but I'm not the one coaching them, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm just a fan, just watching. You know, I guess I'm the old head now. You know what I'm saying? Just watching. But you know, deep down inside at the game, man, I was like, God, I love to just coach these boys. You know what I'm saying? God damn, I just want to coach y'all, boy, and get y'all just so I can feel better. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just so I can feel a little better right now. You know what I mean? I'm out this motherfucker sweating for y'all, and I'm a fan. I want to yell at somebody. You know, I want to have y'all. I want to send one of y'all on a gas or something. You know what I mean? Like, y'all go run for this bullshit. But we came out with the dub. The guys had a different look in their eyes, man. When I was pregame, and I'm looking at the guys, and it's like they had a different look on their eyes. You know, I knew we were going to beat them, but I didn't know how, you know, because I haven't been around the guys. So I didn't know how their whole demeanor was as a team or their mindset. You know what I'm saying? Like us, you know, I'm looking at the team, I'm like, man, we're like roughly 18, 19 seconds away from fucking being undefeated. You know what I mean? And those are all the little things that we just talked about. Like, man, like creating some space, getting open, being patient as a DB, taking away something, taking away all their interior, you know, threats and forcing them to just go outside. You know what I'm saying? Or taking away all their outside threats, forcing them inside to where your help is sitting. You know what I mean? Tight end, don't get in a rush. No, find your space and get there. You know, don't look too early and stuff like that. You know what I mean? It's just small stuff that guys need to do in order to be super successful. Like, guys want to be they want to be mentioned with the greats. They want to be mentioned with that 09 team because everybody brings that 09 team up and play. We were special. You know what I'm saying? Because our football IQ was high for youngsters. You know what I'm saying? Because we were young. So it's like, for us being that young and us receivers, we knew how to tell coverage off our third or fourth step. It wasn't no hiding shit from us. No matter how you try to disguise it, we had to watch so much film and so much detail and so much information was just themed in our heads and it's stuck. You know what I'm saying? Because we'll get stopped at practice and ask certain things like, hey, Marty, what's their favorite coverage on 3rd and long? You know, hey, Bone, you know, what is their how does their safety play in 2? You know, how does their safety, you know, and 2 might not even be a coverage they fucking run. You know, hey, how do they fit in 2? And you're like sitting there like, somebody might give some bullshit answer like, he'll be out there, coach, outside of me, this, that. Coach will be like, man, the motherfuckers don't even run 2. You know, like, what are you doing here? You know what I'm saying? Like, where's your IQ at, son? You know what? Get your ass on the sideline. You know what I mean? Give me somebody else in here that know the answer, you know? And so that forced us to not want to go through none of that bullshit again. You know what I mean? Like, we were just telling ourselves, you know what? Let's just make these plays, man. Let's make sure we learn this shit. Let's make sure we understand this. And when we did, that's when it was just like, that's it? This what coach was talking about?
Ding.
Damn. You know, and when that light bulb went off, it didn't just go off just for me. It was like our whole offense had the light bulb moment at the same time. You know what I'm saying? And that's what made us dangerous. You know, at the end of the day, that team was just, man, IQs were high, man. And I don't see the IQs as high because the kids are not yearning for that anymore. They could care less about if my IQ is high or not. I'm getting paid, baby. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, shit, I'm making damn near more money than you, coach. What the fuck you finna tell me? How am I gonna get better? They don't pay me shit. The goal at the end of, the goal at the end of the tunnel is the money. You know what I'm saying? You used to can tell a kid, hey man, you work your ass off, you get your IQ up, you know what I'm saying? They'll draft you or they'll bring you in so you can show your IQ and then you get your money. Then what we gonna do if you already done, you know, and let's just use this number for an example. Like, let's just say in the last 2 years, NIL done paid you out $2.3 million. And those same 2 years, your coach done made $800,000. How the fuck am I gonna yell at you, bro? As a coach. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I use Colorado, for example, right? You got Travis Hunter. This motherfucker cashed out already. Straight. He can get hurt tomorrow, not have to play no more football for the rest of his life, probably. You know what I mean? Granted, you know, knock on wood, he doesn't get hurt. You know what I'm saying? But that kid can't go nowhere else in the country and play, bro.
Yeah.
You feel me? He only can play for Coach Prime. Why? Because he making a lot of fucking money, but he ain't making more than Coach Prime. You feel what I'm saying? So that's why you can see all these guys that are all these high recruited guys, and it's easy for Dion to get these guys. Yeah. Because Dion making a fucking shitload of money, and their bag can't touch his bag. You know what I mean? So now they're like, oh, coach, how can you coach me to be like you was at DB? You know, or how can you make me the athlete you was back in the day?
Yeah.
Now, if they want making that money, or if they want making as less money than Prime, they want to ask Prime shit. Just like they didn't ask their previous coach shit before they had hit the portal. You know what I mean? Like, those are the things that I kind of try to pay attention to, you know what I mean, when it comes to these guys, because eventually, yes, I want to bring my ass back home and be in red and black. You know what I'm saying? Have all 3 of my children together, and now we can go to the game and have the same weekend like we had when I just came in. You know what I'm saying? Every weekend. You know? But yeah, man, it's, you know, that's pretty much it in a nutshell.
So let's get back to the debacle at Pitt and the last game without Brian Kelly. I think we were talking about that before. I believe your phone died and we got back here.
So the whole debacle Pitt week, right? So we're sitting there, man, and you know, Monday comes, we're at practice, we're doing our thing, you know what I'm saying? Halfway through practice, I'm like, what the fuck old Kelly at? You know what I'm saying? Nowhere to be found. Coaches are refusing to tell us what's up for real. You know, they kind of like, hey, y'all just worry about practice. Don't worry about that. Just worry about practice, blah, 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 blah. In my mind, I'm like, man, some fishy shit going on. This don't even sound right. You know what I'm saying? Coach Kelly really don't. The one thing he don't do is that motherfucker don't miss practice. You feel me? So it's like he always want to yell at somebody. You know what I'm saying? He always want to, hey, God damn it. Oh, my God. Oh, fucking. You know what I mean? Like, he does that shit, like, every day, all day, every chance he can fucking get, right? So it's like kind of like your that annoying teacher you had in school. Like, you know, they always with the shit, but they always there. You know what I mean? So for him not to be there, that was odd. Now 2 days and he's not there. Now we's like, hold up. Now 3 days we don't see him. Like, hold up, goddamn. Now wait a minute, something ain't right. So now all the guys get to asking me like, Marty, you know what coach at? I'm like, no, but I'll find out though. You know what I'm saying? And I think I was told, if I'm not mistaken, like he had like a family situation with a kid or some shit, something like that. You know what I mean? I don't want to misspeak it, but he had some type of issue where he had to be gone. You know what I'm saying? But it was a hell of a time to tell us when I have to come to y'all and ask y'all, and at the same time, ESPN is fucking blasting that this man was in South Bend, you know what I mean, finalizing his Notre Dame deal. And so now us as guys, we're like, hold up. So, bro, you in South Bend, that bitch, you finna go to Notre Dame. You know what I'm saying? But you ain't telling us nothing. You know what I mean? It was different. Like when D'Antonio left, he called us all in a room. You know what I mean? He kicked all the media out. He was just like, hey, you know, guys, I'm gonna talk. I gotta tell you something. You know, he went through the whole spiel as, you know, as a man, you gotta make certain decisions for your family that nobody else will understand until they become a parent, and you'll kind of understand. He stopped there. He cried. You know what I mean? And for Coach D'Antonio to cry, like, this man never showed no emotion like that. You know, he would be pissed, he'd yell and shit like that. But even if he yelled, it was cut off so fast. You know what I mean? It was more or less Coach D's look. Like, if you're a parent and you got if you're a dad and you got a daughter, you know how this shit works. So, like, you look at your daughter, you're like, oh, mommy. You know, that whole world is crushed because daddy looked at him a certain way. You know, you look at your son a certain way. You have to have a great relationship to give him the same look for him to be like, oh, get my pride. I'm sorry, baby. You know what I mean? So for me, it was like when Coach D gave me that look, I'm like, damn, Coach, I'm so sorry. I don't even know what I did, but I'm sorry, bro. Tell me what I did wrong. Tell me how to fix it. You know what I mean? Coach Kelly, he yelled so much, you'll be like, bro, just shut your ass up, please. You keep saying the same shit over and over again. Nobody want to hear that, man. You know what I mean? So we really wasn't totally bought into Kelly, but towards the back end, we got bought in. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm telling the guys, like, look, man, we got to just play. You know, just play ball. We got one more game, and we're etched in history forever. You know what I mean? Because we hadn't got 11 wins the year before. You know what I'm saying? But of course, we had the Oklahoma loss. You know, so it's like we was almost there. You know what I mean? Yeah. And, you know, again, Kelly wasn't there first 3 days. I think that Thursday, if I'm not mistaken, that's when he showed up. And he showed up with all smiles on his face, like, we ain't know what the fuck you were doing. You know, and for us, that was a snake move. You know what I'm saying? That was just totally shitty on his end. You know, still to this day, you know, when people ask me how I feel about him, that motherfucker ain't shit. You know, not because he left. I don't give a fuck about you leaving. You know what I mean? I'm a father. I know you got to handle business how you got to handle business. You know what I mean? If since he offered me a check, I would drop everything where I'm at right now, and I will come back home. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because it's bigger than just me coaching football. That's like when my oldest daughter stays, my 3 kids can be together. It's a bigger thing when it comes to just football. Do I have kids here? Yeah, we got 100 plus kids, man. We probably see, you know, camps I work at, we probably got, you know, 150 kids, you know, something like that, you know, give or take. We're doing middle school level. We're doing high school level out here. We're doing some of everything. So we're really busy here. You know what I mean? Yeah. But if I come to Cincinnati, man, I can do the exact same thing I'm doing here. Probably more just because I'm Marty. You know what I mean? I'll be able to maximize that, if that makes sense, you know, and get the kids extremely better and get them understanding the shit a lot better, you know. But again, I understood why Coach D left. Did I like it? No, I was crushed. I cried, man. You know what I'm saying? When he cried, I cried because I'm like, damn, it was like my daddy was crying in front of me. But when Coach Kelly left, it was like, you know what? Bye. God damn it. But you ain't have to lie. You know what I mean? Because we didn't find out until y'all found out. Y'all found out. You know what I mean? It was like we go in a room, we're at the fucking banquet, and we go in a room, bro. We at the banquet.
Yeah.
Like, bro, you had a lot of fucking time to, and I asked you before all this shit, hey, is it true? You looked at me in my face and you laughed. You said, come on now, Marty. Leave for what? Bitch, for better money. Fuck you mean for what? You know what I mean? And again, man, that's the whole reason for me why that shit still burns in my heart today. Because me as a man, even I got kids and I got kids I coach. The one thing they love about Coach Marty and my kids love about their daddy is no matter if it hurt your feelings or not, I'm going to tell you what it is. And I expect the same thing. Literally the day my daughter says, Dad, I'm like, what's up, baby? This is my second oldest. What's up, baby? She was like, Daddy, you're the greatest dad ever. You're my favorite dad. I'm like, okay, baby. I'm like, why? She's like, because you make me food. What the fuck? Hold up, baby. So you just love me? What if I don't make you no food? I don't like you, Daddy. I'm like, damn. You know what I'm saying? But that's her truth. So I can't take it from her. I can't be like scold her over her really opening up and sharing her feelings like that. I really love you when you order me food. But when you don't, I'm mad because I be hungry. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, I understand, baby. I understand. But if Coach Kelly, when I asked him, would have said, hey, Marty, you know what I mean? Yeah, I had to make a decision. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, Coach, man, I got to tell these motherfuckers what's up. They don't want to go to practice right now for you. So Sugar Bowl practice now, we're like, literally probably 80-90% of our guys like, man, fuck this motherfucker. We ain't practicing for shit. We ain't going nowhere. I literally came in the locker room. It's like 20 minutes before practice. I was actually late that day. Like 20 minutes before practice. And I'm like, what the fuck everybody still in street clothes for? And man, you ain't hear what's going on? Because I ain't have cable TV. I'm a movie guy, so I used to just have DVDs like out the ass. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, movie guy here too. Big movie.
You feel me? And I had a Nintendo. You feel me? I didn't play PlayStation. I had a Nintendo.
64 or Super Nintendo?
No, regular Nintendo. No fucking regular, the
Gray
original.
one. The gray one? Okay. All right. Now.
So I had a Nintendo and I had what's called a Super Pad. And that was basically like a blanket. And one side
Super Pad was wild.
Yeah, one side was blue, A and B, and the other side was red, A and B, because it only had 2 buttons on the controller. And my favorite game was the Olympics. So you can go and choose the 100-yard dash, and you and your buddy can jump on the mat, and y'all gotta with y'all feet,
Really?
And that's how the character, and that's how the character ran. That shit probably led to me having great feet because I would be on that motherfucker like sweating bullets. We're sweating bullets racing. You know what I mean?
Like the Wii Fit back in the day.
Basically, you know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure that's probably where we started it, where they got their baseline from. You know what I mean? And we would play that, me and my teammates or me and my nephews, you know what I'm saying? We'll play the hell out of that, all night. Eat pizza all night, do our thing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that whole Kelly thing was just like, bro, you could have did a whole lot better, but you lied. You know what I mean? So it's fuck you until you straighten your lie. Now. Yeah. Now, can I praise him? For sure, bro. He gave me my fucking scholarship back. I love him for that. You know what I mean? He gave me an ultimatum that kept me accountable. I love him for that because I needed that accountability for myself. But when he lied to me, that all that shit went out the window. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm pretty sure he done heard some of this shit. Ain't no pretty sure. I'm for sure he done heard some of this shit come to his lap because, the way media works, I'm pretty sure somebody's going to say, hey, Coach Kelly, if you haven't know, one of the players that you used to coach named Marty Gilyard, he just made it in the Hall of Fame. But for some reason, he's just so still upset with you. I'm pretty sure that shit has been told to him. You know what I'm saying? And he's probably ducking and dodging the shit out of that question. You know what I mean? Just like he duck and dodged the shit out of me. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure somebody reached out to him, letting him know that I'm in the Hall of Fame or I'm getting inducted. You know what I mean? Because he's been a part of that 08-09 unit, but he still hasn't commented. The motherfucker still hasn't said nothing. Why? Because he's a fucking dick. You know what I mean? Like, bro, you an ass. For real. You're less than a man. You know what I mean? Like, less. I take your nuts. You don't have no nuts. You a female. You feel me? So it's like when you lied, your nuts left with that. You know what I'm saying? And as a man, we know we only got two things: our word and our balls, baby. You feel me? And since he fucked the word up, shit, your balls is gone, bro. So that leaves you as a female, somebody that's gonna be built off of just simple emotion, and you're gonna spray off that, bro. You was a bitch. You know what I'm saying? And for me, I'm really, really, really stuck on that, man. I had a talk with one of my older teammates, and they're like, man, let bygones be bygones. And I'm like, fuck no. You know what I mean? As a man, no. Now, as a Bearcat, for sure. I can say, hey, bygones be bygones. You helped us do what we did. You know what I mean? You was a part of that. It was great. But me as a captain, I'm like, bitch, I had to do too much. You know what I'm saying? I had to do a lot, bro. You know what I mean? The whole quality control of all that shit he was doing, I had to do that a lot. And I guess the other defining factor was when he lied to me, I had to turn around and lie to all my teammates. And be like, yeah, y'all, come on. I had to literally go back down to the locker room, like, bro, we straight. Y'all, come on. You know what I'm saying? He told me we were good. Y'all, come on. You know what I'm saying? And the guys are like, all right, cool, it's great. So everybody go to practice, and it was just a different feel. He was coaching like he didn't give a fuck. You know, he wasn't yelling as much. He was letting negative plays go. That's something that he never did. So like I told you in the beginning of the show, it was like, Marty, if you're on the bottom of the numbers, this shit wrong. Bring this back. You know, Armand, if you're at the top, bring this back. You know, if I was a yard or 2 yards away from my original spot, bring this shit back. It was never it was wrong, but we still completed the pass and let's keep going. It was none of that, you know. So I already knew something was funny and fishy when he told me that, you know what I mean? And they're still not letting the shit go on ESPN. Brian Kelly will be at Notre Dame. Notre Dame's head coach next. So now we're seeing all this shit in our player lounge. You know, we're walking past TVs as we're going out to the field. So it's like, God damn, man, this really how you is? You know, you sat on some of these guys' couches with their moms and their dads, bro, and you said all this genuine shit to make them come and be coached by you and come to the school and all this great stuff. And now all of a sudden it's, hey guys, you know, in the meeting right before, you know, the media got a hold of everything, it was, hey guys, as you know, and this what took me. Hey guys, as you know, this is at the banquet, man. Hey guys, as you know, I'm going to Notre Dame. No, the fuck we don't. You never told us nothing, bro. We're hearing this on ESPN. We just wanted to hear something from your mouth. So if I'm not mistaken, I said something along the lines of, are you motherfucking kidding me? Bitch, you ain't shit. And I walked out. You know, because I was crushed. Because, bitch, you lied to me. And I had to lie to them. I don't lie to my teammates. I don't do that. I'm not that guy. You know what I'm saying? I would never, ever, 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 ever take the political side and lie about shit. Fuck that. Yeah. You know, my mama wouldn't even allow me to come back home with something like that. You know what I mean? So when it got to the game, you know, like I said, we were arguing over petty shit. We were pissed off at him. He lied to us with so much shit. We had guys that just didn't give a fuck. We didn't even care if we won or lost at that point. It was just like, all right, we're here. We're gonna do our thing. That was in the
Sugar Bowl itself. Yeah. Well, let's talk about that Pitt game, though. You know, I mean, because obviously you went through the struggles during that practice and everything that followed afterwards. But I mean, the Pitt game is arguably the best Cincinnati game in the history of Cincinnati football. So there was a minute 26 left in the first half. You guys are down 31-10. And then that was when the kickoff return happened. What was going on the sidelines, and kind of what was the vibe, and how did you kind of flip the script and know, hey, it's time for me to go out there and make a play?
Got our kick return together after me walking up and down the sideline for a little bit. Like, hey man, one of us got to make a fucking play. Somebody got to make a play. And I wasn't getting the response or the vibe I thought I was gonna get. So I just yelled out, you know what, motherfuckers, fuck it. God damn it. I'm gonna put this shit on my back. I'm gonna make a motherfucking play. Y'all bitches just follow. You know what I mean? And the way I said it kind of touched a few of our teammates personally. So they wanted to personally prove me wrong. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, they kicked it to me. I took the kick back. I come back to the sideline. Like I told y'all motherfuckers what was going to go on. I kept their ball. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, where the hell is that Nike ball? I might have it down here somewhere. But I got a Nike ball somewhere. That's the ball. That's the Pitt ball. And I kept their ball. They kicked it to me. I went to the house. I kept that bitch. You know what I'm saying? I remember scoring, flipping it down, pointing up to our little section of student fans and fans that were right there in that little section by the tunnel. And I remember pointing up to them like, that was for y'all. Now I need y'all to keep us on point. You know what I'm saying? Be louder than the rest of these sorry motherfucking Pitt fans. You know what I mean? And one of my youngsters, he ended up falling. I think Malik Bomar, he fucking fell on the. If you look at it, he slides and shit right behind me, you know. But he actually gets up, and Demetrius Jones handed me the ball. He's like, I got these bitches ball. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, get that motherfucker to me. I get on the sideline. I hand it to our equipment manager. I was like, hey, put this up for me. You know, and we get into the locker room at halftime. I come in and I fucking punt the goddamn Gatorade container. I just boot it like the Undertaker, boom, and it spills all over the floor in the locker room. And I'm like, y'all motherfuckers can't have nothing to drink. You know, and I'm slapping Gatorade out, water bottles out of people's hand, Gatorade's out of people's hand. I'm slapping everything out of everybody's hand. But you can't drink shit. Come on, my God, damn, bro. Come on, bro. I'm thirsty. I'm this, I'm that. Bitch, we ain't not playing Bearcat football. So we're not playing Bearcat football. I told y'all the stats. We're not playing fast. We're not playing that kind of ball. So how the fuck can you say you tired? You know what I'm saying? Like, how can you say you tired? That's like a track runner running the fucking 400. He run 100 and he say, I'm tired. Hell no, you're a 400 runner. We need at least 3 more of these out you. You know what I'm saying? Before you can say you tired for real. You know what I mean? Because your body's accustomed to running 400 meters, not 100. You know, so for us, it's like we're used to running 100 perfect plays, ball hiked in 6 to 7 seconds. You know what I mean? There's no way you tired. If we out this motherfucker checking, reading, holding our snaps, we're delaying the snap. You know what I'm saying? We're going on 2. We're doing a lot of stuff we typically don't do. You know what I mean? And O-line was playing a little like shit in that game in the beginning. I think we dropped a couple of balls, myself and a few other guys early in the beginning. So we had a slow start. And when I don't come off fast, the team don't come off fast. You know what I mean? So I was still trying to get footing. In that first quarter, I was really trying to find a way to get some footing. I kept slipping. You know what I mean? And I said this at the Hall of Fame induction. I was like, Bob Mangine is the one that said, I told your ass to switch and get studs. So I came up out my cleats.
Right? Yeah.
Yep. Came up at the bottom of that F50. Bob threw it on. You know what I'm saying? That's why he was smiling so good at the Hall of Fame thing. You know what I mean? Bob knew the story. You know what I mean? He literally switched out, talked a little shit to me. Bob always talk shit. I love Bob. Bob always talked this shit to me. You know what I'm saying? Because when he's right, he's right. You know, and Bob won't open his mouth and give you any type of advice unless he knows for sure that this is what's gonna work. You know what I mean? Yeah. So he did, and I will always listen to Bob because Bob never led me wrong. You know what I mean? So I was like, fuck it. All right, Bob. And so I think I put another set of cleats on, I put another set of socks on, and then I threw the cleats on. I came out for a couple of plays. Bob, dispatched me real quick and, sends me back out on the field. And, everything kind of worked. I finally got some gription and we finally got good, got back into the midst of things in the third quarter. Towards the end of it, it's like, okay, now we just got to have one strong quarter. We have one strong quarter. We can beat these motherfuckers, but shit, man, Deion Lewis was running that thing so hard.
He was.
Like, I think they gave him to damn near 50 times, you know what I'm saying? That shit's unheard of. That's unheard of. Damn near 50 times, bro. Yep. Damn near 50 times, and you're eating that thing up, bro. He was really a handful to deal with, at Pitt. So our defense bended a little bit. They didn't break, they just bend a little bit, but our offense had just caught fire at the right time. You know what I mean? We sunk in we was getting the same look with our 3x set, and this is where the whole Pike to Benz comes from. We're in this set called Cowboy, and it's basically trips right with me at the 3, and that particular play, I was running like stick, but we were really setting up the stick nod. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I'm running the stick, the little freshman. He keeps jumping and talking shit. Like, I thought they said you was good. I thought they said you was good. I thought they said you was good. You know, I'm just like laughing to myself, you know, like, bitch, you are sorry as hell. Like, I'm running dummy routes for you right now, you know, and I'm running them short at that because I know I'm not getting the ball. I just need you to come down so we can just work a few things, right? So I'm on the phone. I'm like, hey, coach, I'm talking to Charlie Monarch. I'm like, coach, he keep biting on the stick. And coach is like, I know, I see it. He was like, I'm just waiting on us to breach and get into the goal line. Once we get into the goal line, we're gonna run the same shit on him, you know. And we get closer to the goal line. I remember snowing, the wind had picked up a little bit, and I ran the stick nod. Pike put it only where Pike would usually put something for real. He placed it perfect, man, to where I have to jump a little bit, but I had to based off where I killed him so bad that if Pike would have fired it to me, the kid would probably picked it. You know what I'm saying? Because he was in recovery stage, so he was already out of phase so fast that Pike put me in the back of the end zone. And I jumped and caught it because I lost sight of where the back line was. So I was like, fuck it. I just jumped and caught it and just tried to kind of kick one foot down and leave it just kind of stiff out. And, you know, it caught it stayed in the grass, and, you know, I was good. And I looked over and they're like, good, we for 2. And I'm like, okay. All right, good. So now we get to the same scenario. We're in overtime, and we call Cowboy. It was the same stick nod concept, and I ran the stick, but instead of crossing his face on the nod, I just stayed outside of him and made him feel like he just covered it so fucking perfect. But what he neglected was Pike hit Armand with the open hand like this. You know what I'm saying? And that told Armand, ball's coming to you right now, run the fade.
Yeah.
You know, and that's where the Pike to Benz kind of came from, was the setup the whole game. Like, we had ran the same formation, you know, at least, I don't know, maybe 10 times that game. You know what I'm saying? And it was all at crucial moments where they had to pay attention. Like, those kind of moments kind of stick in your head. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you was almost there and then guy caught it and you was almost there and he might have dropped it. You know what I'm saying? So we came back with it, and Armand catches it, and if I'm not mistaken, I think he dislocated his shoulder on the catch. And still finished playing. You know what I'm saying? So that was a hell of a play, man. It was a hell of an effort. You know, Pike put the ball beautiful per usual. You know what I mean? Only where Armand could catch it, because the guy was in decent coverage, though. It wasn't like he was in shitty coverage. It's just Pike threw him. That was one keen ability that Pike had, was to throw us open, not throw it to us while we're open, but Pike would throw us open. You know what I mean? Like, we'll kill a guy and Pike will throw us, 3-4 yards to the left, 3-4 yards to the right, or 3-4 yards to a back line where we had to run under stuff or run out towards the sideline and catch some stuff and stuff like that, And Pike was great at that, man. So when we got to that point, we're tied up when I make the 2-point. And when he gave us the hand, I knew it was on. You know what I'm saying? Like, I knew it was going to be a catch. You know what I'm saying? I knew I had that much faith in Armand. I just knew little bro was going to get busy. You know what I'm saying? Because he had a short dude on him. Short dude was good at press. I can't even remember his name. I just call him dude. Dude knew he was good at the press, but he neglected the fact that Armand was better at getting off of it. Armand learned from Goody. You feel me? So he learned from Goody. I gave him tweaks, which again came from Goody, mixed with a little bit of me. And then Bones talked to him a little bit. So it's like, you get in my opinion, the best set of receivers to ever come through UC, right? We come through and we're telling you how to get open, and I'll be damned if you see Armand, he buzzes his feet and he goes boom, boom, hit him with a 2-step, swipes his hands off and stacks him. That was the perfect part, because Armand wasn't stacking the whole game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So at the time for you to be perfect, little bro was perfect. He was winning the whole game off of sheer athletic ability and his height, and his length. He was making a lot of tough catches, you know what I mean? But this one, this was like, I don't even think he had to dive, but he just dove anyway, you know what I mean? And
to
it was a
add to the flair. You had to add to the flair a little bit.
Add to the legacy.
Oh, yeah. So now it's like we catch it, and we didn't even know how big the game was. We just want to win that motherfucker. You feel what I'm saying? We didn't know how big the game was going to be and all that stuff like that. You know, all the history making that it did.
Mm-hmm.
But our fans went absolutely apeshit, man, in the stands. And you can see the Pitt fans, they're throwing beer and shit. You see guys taking their jerseys off and fucking throwing them. You know what I mean? They're pissed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Pitt fans were upset. And you see our fans out there hanging out. You know what I mean? We got some fans pouring beer on themselves. You know what I mean? Yeah! You know, all that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, damn. You know, Marty, we love you. I swear to God, we love you, man, bro. You never blah, 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 blah. It's like it was going on and on and on, man. When we got back to campus, you talking about a green light on everything. It was a green light on everything. I mean, everything. You could miss class and the teacher be like, it's okay. I got your work already side here to the side for you. You know what I'm saying? Females, you couldn't even walk nowhere on campus. Girls is like,
you guys are the greatest.
Oh, you play football.
Like the Benz.
Oh my God. You know what I'm saying? I think a few of us had kids that weekend. You know what I'm saying? For real. I'm being serious, man. It was that live on campus. You know what I mean? And at the time, I think we were I'm pretty sure we were top 3 party school in the nation at that time. You know, so we was really, really hanging out. Like, no matter if you wanted to go to whatever club, it was doors open, you and your guests free, complimentary drinks. You know, of course, if you're of age, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
If you wanted to go eat at a restaurant, you know, restaurants would probably not comp it all the way to you, but they'll do it in a way where they'd be like, okay, just tip your server. You know what I mean? And everything else is good, you know? So life was so great and easy after then. So by the time we got to the whole Kelly debacle, man, it was just like, man, we so high on life. Like, how could you do us like this? Like, we took you from this sorry ass assumption guy. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. To this big ass, you know, big name in college football. Kelly won shit before he came to us. Am I lying?
What Grand Valley State was the
already good.
Right.
It was already good. You know, what did he do at Grand Valley State to make them good? It was already sweet.
Right.
You know, we knew about Grand Valley State at D1. We knew about they was good. You know what I'm saying? They had the fast offense, and they was really them and I think North Dakota State was the 2 like powerhouses. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like, okay, what did you do to create a legacy? Like when you came to Cincinnati, we were a basketball school. It was all about Coach Huggins and the boys. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like you came and turned Grand Valley State around. They was already who they was. Now at Cincy, that's a different thing. You know, he's getting credit for the whole turnaround. You know what I mean? But I could tell you the turnaround happened with that 05 class. Like, we were the class that led all that. You know what I mean? And if he did not have those group of guys, he hasn't had that success with the other recruiting classes.
Yeah.
You know, after that 05 class.
That was a loaded class in 05 too.
Mm-hmm.
You had Barwin, basketball player you mentioned too. So yeah. Yep. You
know what I mean? So it hasn't been like that anywhere he's went. LSU, have they been on the national stage? Or have they just been getting, you know, that's LSU at the end of the day. Yeah. You know, it's not like LSU was jumping off the board like they was before. You know what I mean? Like when Chasing them boys was there, you know what I'm saying? It was a whole nother ball game. When Burrow was at that motherfucker, you know what I'm saying?
It was unreal. Yeah.
Them boys were dangerous. Mm-hmm. Kelly wasn't there. Now Kelly's not there. Tell me a couple players off of LSU.
Yeah. Right.
Don't worry, I'll wait.
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's nothing. And again, nothing against them boys in LSU. I know they mad right now. You feel me? I know the fans pissed off down there because ain't shit like they used to be. You know what I'm saying? And have you heard Kelly in his interviews, bro? What the hell? You're a Northeastern guy. All of a sudden, you talking like you from the Bayou.
Yeah, that one interview was not, yeah.
Family.
family. Yeah. Well, yeah,
That's
Marty,
the
we got
number
to
one
think.
sign of a fake ass dude.
Yeah,
They act like who they're around because they don't have anything real about themselves.
Exactly. He has no true identity. He's kind of like Kamala Harris. You feel what I'm saying? 1 year, and I'm not even a politic guy, but I had to pay attention this year. You know what I mean? It's like Kamala at one point, she was all, hey, half of me is fucking street tacos. You know what I'm saying? I love the Latinos, I'm part Latino, and then it's, hey, at one point, we're mixing collard greens, and we had so many collard greens that we're all in the bathtub. Ain't no way. I'm a Southern boy. We live on collard greens. You're not finna put them motherfuckers in the tub, bro, where you wash your ass. You know what I'm saying? That shit was so fake.
Politics. We don't do politics.
I'm sorry. I just had to sprinkle that in there. But back to Coach Kelly, it's like, where he's been, it hasn't been that special. You know what I mean? He hasn't did the same thing. You know what I mean? And I think it's partially, on the football guys. The football guys they don't play favorites, they play even. You know what I mean? So if you didn't handle your business character, or if you didn't handle your business with good character, man, it's gonna show. It might not show right now, but it's gonna show later on. You know what I mean? And yeah, man, it was just, again, the whole Kelly leaving situation, him getting credit for the turnaround. Is another pill. It's another pill it's a hard one for me to swallow, because I know, I was there in the locker room. I was there when he's asking for help all the time. You know what I'm saying? I was there when the other coaches ain't getting no credit, and he's getting all the credit, and he's still not. He wouldn't even tell the coaches good job type shit. Like, it's weird for me when it comes to him. So,
Yeah. Well, we got a little thing. We got to shout out some sponsors, but we got a little thing called New Riffin' with Royer. It's a new riff, the tasty bourbon down there in Cincinnati. It's a new riff, and we riff with Royer, and we're not going to have the big debate because we've already gone an hour 40, and I think the whole 2021 versus 2029. In the end, we're all Bearcats in the end, right? So instead, I'm going to pass it down to Ryan Royer, and I'm going to let you two just talk, just chat. Let him ask question, and you know what? If it has to do with the little matchup between the two legendary teams in the history of Bearcat football, then it does. But if not, then I'll still listen. Ryan, what you got for Marty?
All right, we're gonna start with I'm gonna get you on one here, a good comparison competition one. But we're gonna start with, what is your favorite on-field and off-field Bearcat memory?
On the field, it has to be when we won the River City Shootout. You know what I'm saying? I want to say, the River City Shootout, when the Red Out game, when our fans stormed the field early. And I was one of the guys that was on the field like, man, get the fuck off. Get off. Come on now. We got a couple seconds left. Y'all don't mess this up for us. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And the fans were literally like, because security couldn't do nothing with them. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, our student section was wild, man. Like, they stormed that field, and the rest of the fans kind of hit it with them. And when they left, it was just like, they listened. And I was like, damn, I ain't know the people would listen to me like this. You know what I mean? Like, come on, y'all get off the field, and they got off. And they stayed by the gate. And when Brandon Underwood got the pick, when they was kind of doing their last play, tossing it back here, tossing it back there, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And he picks it. And they stormed the field again. I was like, you would never get nothing like this again, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Now, off the field, I don't even think we have no Bearcats that are this strong. You know what I'm saying? And I could be wrong because I haven't been in the weight room with y'all. But when I came in from Florida, 350 was like the thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you the man if you could bench 350, right? You're a superhuman if you could do 4, right? But I came in the locker room, came in the weight room, and Terrell Bird and Marcus Wall, these two guys, bro. When you talking about strength, I'm talking about this. bro, just straight strength. You know, like Bird was the first one I seen do 5-6 plates on the bench. You know, and I think it was 505 the first time we had our open bench day with our defense. You know what I'm saying? Because usually it was offense and defense, but this particular time it was all of us in the weight room, right? And they're putting the weight on, slapping that shit on, and they had 4 plates and a 25. And Bird's like, oh no, hell no. Man, put 5 plates on. And I'm like,
damn.
What you finna squat? You know what I'm saying?
I was about to say, like that was like heavy
squat. But I'm thinking he finna squat for real. You feel me?
Yeah.
And Connor Barwin and who the fuck else was it? It was Connor Barwin and somebody, you know, because Connor came in built like a fucking Spartan. You know what I'm saying? It was him and somebody else. I can't remember the other guy, but they were on. Oh, Curtis Young. It was him and Curtis Young on the sides. And I'm like, what the fuck they doing on the side of the bar, bro? They like, they from the spot. So it was them two there, and there's another, I think Coach Schwanger was in the back doing a traditional spot like we used to see him. And they broke it for Bird. And, you know, Bird's underneath it at first, and right before, you know, he gets ready to put his hands on the bar, he's like, yeah, lightweight. I'm like, what the fuck? And I didn't know that the bar bent. Bro, like, I didn't even know the bar bent. You feel what I'm saying? So they break it for him, and he goes and it comes off the bar, and that motherfucker just bends like this, the bar. And I'm thinking it's finna fall off. They got 2 clips on the ends. These guys are on the end waiting on it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, oh my God.
Shit.
And he pumps it 2 times and puts it on the rack, but he pumped it 2 easy times though, and then puts it on the rack. He was like, man, I don't know what y'all thought. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then Marcus Wall comes up. You know what I'm saying? And it's been a big battle between them their whole career about who's the strongest Bearcat. You know what I'm saying? Marcus gets up there and he puts 5 plates on. He can't do it. You know what I mean? So he goes 4. I think he goes 4 1/4 and a 10. It was like 4 1/4 and a 10 and a 5 or something like that. You know, and he benches it. Again, the bar's like this. You know what I'm saying? And I just I've never seen nothing like that ever in my life. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm not even gonna go to the squat and a deadlift. These motherfuckers was amazing. You know, we're talking about 6 on the squat. You know what I'm saying? Maybe 650 or something like that on the deadlift. These boys were strong. You know what I'm saying? I was just a talented athlete. I ain't even touched the weights like that in high school. You know what I'm saying? These boys was on them things, you know, from freshman year on up, or from fucking middle school on up or something. But for that boy Bird to be confident, really confident, say it's lightweight and with 5 plates on there, in the bar bending like this. You know what I'm saying? This is the straight Olympic bar that we all used to seeing in the weight room. You know what I mean? Like that had me. I was like, man, look, bro, that's amazing, bro. I remember telling both of them, like, boy, y'all the strongest motherfuckers I've ever seen in my life. God damn, what y'all doing?
I said the same thing. We had some guys throwing around 4 plates. We had some guys doing some heavy squatting, but like benching, never 5 plates. Like that's like a different atmosphere of strength, man.
I swear, I wish I had Bird on here. He would be like, yeah, cake, bro. You know what I'm saying?
What is the name of that, the power lifter that says lightweight? I can't
think of his name. You know, I can't think of his name.
Huge. I can't think. Is it Lonnie Walker? I can't think of his name. That I wonder if he got it from him or if he coined it himself.
I don't even know, bro. I don't even know, but I just know that when it came to, first off, you wasn't gonna one-on-one Bird, you know, just like Coleon, bro. And ironically, both of them went to the same school, same high school, both on Fort Wayne boys. You feel what I'm saying?
Ronnie Coleman.
Okay, that's the guy. You know what I mean? But you know, just Bird was I think a generational talent. You know what I'm saying? That maybe if he was tall as Coleon, he'd have been the first pick. You know what I mean? For real. You know, first round pick to some team in. Because that man couldn't be blocked one-on-one. He literally took 2 linemen every play. And if they did not, he would take whoever guarded him and put your ass 10, 15 yards in the backfield up on the quarterback's toes like you about to tie his shoes. You know what I'm saying? Like it just didn't matter. And I watched him do it, man. You feel what I'm saying? So he opened up so much for Andre Revels, you know what I'm saying? And then it forced you to play one-on-one on the ends with our ends. You know what I mean? And everybody knows that Anthony Hoke has the damn sack title. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what you gonna do? Yeah. You gonna waste 2 on this man and get interior pressure right now, or you gonna try to wait on timing, which you ain't gonna really have on this guy bending the block on you on the edge and coming, you know what I'm saying, and closing your tackle gap down, and now you ain't got nowhere to step up. Where you gonna go? Yeah. You know, so those will probably be, you know what I'm saying, the on and the off field. You know, for me.
Do you have a favorite play that you made in your career?
The 2-point conversion in Pitt. The 2-point conversion in Pitt. You know, because that right there was a game where we should have lost. You know what I mean? And we would have lost. If I would have dropped that ball, we probably would have lost. You know what I mean? Because it's just like we were trying to get, I think his name was DJ Woods. We were trying to get him to give him an opportunity to win the one-on-one. And for whatever reason, he couldn't win his matchup like that. You know what I'm saying? He made a couple plays, but he just didn't make them like we wanted them to. You know, coaches them had more trust in him than we did, you know, as players, because we knew he was soft. You know, he was real soft. He ran like contact like that, you know. I think y'all heard me say it in the Hall of Fame induction speech. Like, man, I can't. We were a tough bunch. We were a gritty bunch. I didn't even like playing wide receiver. Didn't want to play wide receiver because it was a pretty boys position. I came from running back, you know, in the backwoods in Florida. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't ashamed on getting dirty and muddy. I mean, hell, man, I hunt squirrels, bro. You feel me? And rabbits. So I'm used to skinning and being bloody and taking guts and doing all this extra stuff. You feel what I'm saying? And then turn around, taking the meat, putting on the smoker and get busy. You know what I mean? So it's like I wasn't used to, oh my God, my hands are dirty. Let me get my nails clean. Let me get my feet done. You know, stuff like that. Like I wasn't that kind of guy until
me either, man.
You know, we switched. Now when we switched, it was a whole nother story. Like I had a chance to be close with Ocho Cinco and Chris Henry, God rest his soul. And I'm like, damn, Ocho, he took his cleats off one day in the summertime because Ocho would come, him and Chris Henry would come in the summertime and work with us. You know what I mean? And I remember Ocho took his shoes off. His fucking feet looked immaculate. I was like, bruh, what you do with your feet? I was like, Paul, but what you do with your feet, bro? I ain't trying to be funny with you or nothing like that, but, you know, what you do with your feet? He was like, man, I get my feet done every 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? He said, that's why these feet make all this money. He's like, well, if your feet, you know, if your feet ain't right, boy, you gotta, you know, you ain't gonna make no money. So I started getting my feet done. And I'll be damned, the swelling had left out of them, you know. So it was like, all right, I guess I can hang out and be cute for a little bit, you know. Shit works. When I take my shoes off around the ladies, they're like, oh.
You tell your son that you do that? Does your son know that you still get your feet done?
No, I haven't got them done in a while. They ain't around. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like if you get them done, it might kind of soften them, and it might like kind of.
That's what happens. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like getting them done, it takes all the dead skin that builds up on your feet off, and you know it takes the calluses away. You know what I'm saying? So your feet will swell less. You know what I mean? You have less pressure points. You know, it's like more even. It fits in your shoe better. You know, it's a lot of different things that come with it, but. You know, getting your feet massaged out, man, and you know what I'm saying, getting them in the little, you know, soaking them in Epsom salt and all that good stuff. You know what I mean? Getting the salt rub on them, getting the dead skin. It's all about getting the hard dead skin off. You know what I'm saying? And keeping your feet soft. You know what I mean? That's the whole key.
Yeah, my feet were never capable of doing anything nearly as special as you guys at wide receiver. So it was more just kind of downhill and absorb huge hits from running backs and linemen. So I never really, I didn't have, even if I did get them done, they weren't going to be doing anything like you. So it didn't really mean much to me. But hey man. All right. So here's the one. This is our little mini debate. I don't really have a stance at the moment, but I know you're going to have a stance. So you, Sauce Gardner.
Goddamn.
All right. You're at the 15-yard line. 10 reps. How many are you winning?
Oh shit! I just can't escape Sauce, bro. Oh my god! All right, so
I had to put you on this one.
I'm winning 9 out of the 10, and I say 9 out of the 10 because I'm gonna waste the first one to see where his feet at.
Yeah, you trying out the first rep to see what he's got.
Yeah, I'm gonna try him with a speed release and see where his hands at. To be honest, you know what I'm saying. In all honesty, like I'm a hit Sauce with speed first to see if he can actually move his feet. You know what I'm saying? Which I know he can't. You know what I mean? I know he's not twitchy, but I also know that bitch got some strong ass. When he get on you, it's over. You know what I'm saying? So I'll waste that. I'll give him the first one.
He is sneaky fast. He is faster than, because he's so good with his hands. He never is really like put in that position where he's getting stacked, kind of, you know, you were just talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But I know, I mean, I don't know about what I could really say here about. I can't say I know that it's going to be 9 out of 10, or I can't say I know it'd be 5 out of 10. But I mean,
I'll tell y'all why I think it's going to be 9 out of 10 on my end. You know what I'm saying? Just because out of all the receivers he's seen that he shut down in that weak ass whatever the fuck it was that y'all was in. You feel what I'm saying?
The American Athletic Conference. Don't you?
There you go. There you go, baby.
How could you forget?
Because it was terrible. I wanted
Tulane, South Florida,
Tulsa, East Carolina,
ECU.
Oh man,
What are you talking about?
Navy. Don't forget about Navy, bro. Navy,
yeah, shitty, and shitty. You know what I'm saying?
That was good. He came from Houston. There's some good ass players from this conference.
Y'all seen what we did to Houston? You feel what I'm saying? Like it's not okay. So I will probably give a good point. I'll give Sauce more. Okay, so if you take Mike Mickens and put him in the AAC, you feel me? Mike Mickens will have probably more picks, and because Mike's twitchy, right? So the difference, I say, Mike Mickens was our Sauce, right? You know what I'm saying? Mike played everybody, man. You know what I'm saying? He didn't give a fuck who you was. You know what I mean? And we had a lot of that Big East team. They were caught, bro. They had stars on each team that were nationally ranked at their position. You know what I mean? Like at one point, you know, South Florida beat a number 2 West Virginia, bro. That was stacked. You know what I'm saying? Like there's nobody can convince me that the competition in the AAC would even get close to the Big East. So I don't think that Sauce had seen a receiver like me or Goody or Armand or Bones. You feel what I'm saying? And not knocking our receivers, you feel me? Like you can do what you do in practice. Like we had some good ones that are in the league still now, you know what I'm saying? That was during that time frame. But tell me, give me one of the guys on as a Navy receiver that went to the league from that age.
He did all right against Jamison Williams.
Bam.
No, Jamison didn't play, I thought. Didn't he tear his ACL?
No, he played.
Who tore their ACL before the game?
That was the other receiver that tore his ACL.
It was
J-Mo had 2 catches, 2 targets for -1 yard.
He did good against
Mechie.
Marty.
Mechie got hurt.
Sauce didn't get to put up any numbers because they just never threw at it. Like teams would literally put like a second string tight end on the boundary so that's who Sauce could cover, and then put all their other offense to the field to stay away from it. Like that was the remarkable thing about Sauce.
So
they
y'all
didn't even try to throw at it.
So y'all praising Sauce. Y'all praising Sauce on guarding a backup tight end.
No, I'm saying that's how good he was. Is that they said we're just not throwing at it. They wouldn't throw at it.
We would. The Big East would. We in the AAC.
Saban didn't throw at it, Marty.
Bruh, that's Nick. Bruh, tell me Alabama won that sweet then. They won the same Alabama. They damn sure wasn't.
In 2022?
They won the same Alabama, man. That we're accustomed to seeing. They didn't have no Derrick Henry in the backfield. They didn't have no. They didn't have no Tua, none of that, bro. Nick Saban on the way out.
Hey, they had Bryce Young. How's that looking right now? It looked damn good when he won the Heisman.
Now it looks good. Now again, the stuff looks good because it's Alabama. Yeah. Blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying? But I'm still gonna say it was prime time football every fucking week in the Big East, no matter who you was playing, where you was playing. Camera, ESPN was there, baby. You feel me? Game day came. Well, who the fuck we were playing? Like Tulane or something?
Tulsa.
Tulsa.
Come on, man.
You know what I'm saying? Come on, baby. Tulsa. Come on,
we almost
baby.
lost that game too to make it even better.
Come on, baby. You feel me? So
they had to get 8 goal line stops in a row.
Now, okay, answer this question for me. Okay, so this great team, we finna go straight to the debate. I'm gonna have to bring this shit in. So that team we talking about, right? What is that, the 21 team? The 01 team, right? Okay, the 01 team versus the 09 team, right? So tell me who the fuck was gonna guard me. They would have put sauce on me, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so who was gonna guard Benga Dooley at tight end?
Brian Cook.
He was gonna get his ass cooked. Who was gonna play Bones?
Right. Starting for the Chiefs.
Yeah.
What that means? So this is something that so I wasn't a star in the league. You feel what I'm saying? Kelsey, the Kelseys that everybody fucking love and rave about, right? Like even Jason, you know what I'm saying? Or Travis, and I wish they would have had me on their fucking show when they did it at school. You feel what I'm saying? Like, okay, Jason came in as a Mike linebacker. Jason was decent at center when he got there, but he didn't get good till a little bit later on. That's when he got good. Even in the league, he wasn't on point when he first got there. He got good. Travis was okay with us, but he wasn't a starter. You feel what I'm saying? I think a lot of times we get stuck off of how guys are doing in the NFL versus how powerful they would be in college. Like, yes, Sauce is, defensive rookie of the year, all these accolades, that shit sounds great. And I praise him for it because he went to my school. So I'm like, yeah, y'all already know we create these lockdown guys, blah, 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 blah. I'm talking big shit on behalf of him. But when it comes to a pound for pound matchup, like that 01 team, we too fast for y'all. You feel what I'm saying? Now, defensive wise, maybe y'all offense would have put up maybe a couple points here and there. You know what I'm saying? But we're talking about pound for pound stopping the team. I just think we had too much in that we seen on a week to week basis than that team, and I don't know if they were able to adjust better than we would. You know what I'm saying? And that's just me talking. Just talking kind of factual. But the $1 million question for me is, how many guys 25 and over did that team have?
I'm just gonna let me just say
25 a lot actually because they had the COVID year.
Marty,
so now
who the hell was stopping Joel DeBlanco? That's what I want you to tell me. Who the hell is stopping 41 doing whatever he god dang pleases?
Man, stop Marcus Wall. We'll put Marcus Wall at fullback.
Acting like you don't know who he is, man.
We will put Marcus Wall at fullback and let him come through that motherfucker thinking he finna hurt somebody like we Tulane or we're fucking Navy or something like that. You feel what I'm saying? I'm taking Marcus Wall.
Marcus Wall came back for the 08 thing that they did a couple weeks ago. And Marcus Wall looks like you could hit him in the chest with a shovel, and the shovel would be like, why the fuck did you do that?
He's always been like that, bro. And I think right now, when y'all seen him, Marcus Wall's a power lifter, professional now. So I think his last post I seen a month and a half ago, he was like, I'm on my way to 900 in the fucking deadlift. I'm like, God damn. You know what I mean? But this the one that him and Bird was going like Marcus Wall, bro. I am not bullshitting you at all. This is no exaggeration on my end at all, bro. This man would run literally full fucking speed, bro. At whoever it was, guys that be like, hold up, time out, bro. Come on, god damn, Marcus, bro, for real. You know what I mean?
What was his size and weight?
Shit, Marcus was short, man. I mean, Marcus was short, but he was just strong as fuck, bro. You know, he didn't have no
He was
net.
a D, right?
Nah, he was a fullback.
Oh, he was a fullback? Okay.
Yeah, he was a fullback.
Bird was a nose tackle, defensive tackle.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
So
the Bird was the nose.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So
Wall is listed at 6'2", 270.
He wasn't. Wall wasn't 6 foot. He was. Man, they being generous. He was probably about roughly 5'10", maybe a little bit shorter than that. Maybe
he got the roster boost.
Yeah, he got a little roster boost, but he would literally, bro. You got like I watched this dude take the helmet, man, and just till his shit split. You know, they don't even make shit like this no more in a human. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when you see somebody, bro, take a regular helmet, bro, and we ain't have the sweet ass helmets like they got now. You know what I'm saying? All the protection. You know what I'm saying?
Those old school ones.
Hell yeah. So he's just pounding and pounding and pounding and pounding and pounding it on his head, bro. Like Marcus was fucking nuts. You know what I mean?
That's Marcus Wall a month ago.
And he ain't changed too much. I'm not in line.
Did you see the picture of him, Marty?
I'm looking at him. He hasn't changed much at all, for real. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, like I hear you, and I'm familiar with, bro. I know he was a sticker. You feel what I'm saying? But it's kind of like, okay, when the hammer meets the nail, who's gonna be the hammer? Who's gonna be the nail? I just seen Marcus be the hammer more times than none. You know what I'm saying? I watched this man really not break people's fucking face masks off their helmet and shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like guys got to come off after he hit them head up, and they try him because everybody try Marcus. One, because he white. Two, because he a little shorter. You feel me? So they're coming in out wide open. You know, I can hear linebackers like,
let's go.
Hey,
you know, literally you would hear guys. You would literally hear guys say, you know, bro, he ain't shit. Thump that white boy. You feel me? And Marcus will come and meet their ass, bro, and just kaya. I mean, it's like, wham. You know, it'd be such a loud collision. You'd be like, God damn, you could be blocking and be like, oh shit. Like,
he did break a guy's face mask, Royer.
So he played linebacker and he played fullback?
No, he just straight full. You know, he didn't even thump that linebacker, straight full. You know, like if you met him in the goal line, bro, where he had to run, he had to block for Pete or Ramsey, bro, it was gonna be a hard day for that linebacker. I watched him take Brandon Spikes and do Brandon Spikes dirty. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like that, yeah. You know what I mean? So like that was, he would literally, his want to win, his will to win was more than his will to be healthy. And that's dangerous on the football field, bro.
Reckless abandon.
He was really like that, for real. Like, and again, I'm not taking nothing away from Bud. You know what I'm saying? For one, he was a thumper. He was a great player as well. You know what I'm saying? No doubt again. But when you're talking about, can he hit like he hits from time to time? Can he hit like that? You know, can he hit like that every play? You know what I'm saying? Can you really go smack every play? Because you know it, bro. You see guys at linebacker, they might hit you, rock you one time hard. Bam. Then the next time it'd be a forearm tackle. Come here. Then the next time he might, you know, be a step off and clip a guy's feet. No, bro. Marcus is coming, and he's coming every single time. And you're going to have to really, 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 you got to have some extra shit in you to even get him to stand up. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was really like that. Like, he was.
He looks like it. I'm looking at him right on this on Google.
Like,
he has every bit of look of like a early 2000s linebacker, fullback, just old school ass football.
Yes.
The dying breed.
Yes.
Is he going to be the one on a punt team to stop Ryan Royer from coming in and blocking a Kevin Huber punt? Because, I mean,
okay, so Royer would have had to run through Ricardo Matthews.
Oh, okay.
And he wasn't going to win. And he wasn't going to win that, bro.
Well, you see, what I did when I blocked my punt, I tried to knife over the top of the pad because sometimes, you know, you're not going to win those battles against those big motherfuckers. You just got to, play a little savvy with them.
Yeah. I'm here. I mean, I've blocked my fair share of punts. I think I
Don't
might
tell
have
him my technique.
I might have the record for block punts.
But
no,
Ethan
you
Tucky.
had what, 2? Yeah. Tucky might have beaten it.
Blocked 5 in a year. Was it Chad? Does Chad remember?
Yeah, it was something.
I called him away from his desk.
I called him
the
Kembe Mutombo of the Cincinnati Bearcat football program was Ethan Tucky. That was his specialty. He literally, I mean, he obviously played D end and
I would love to see where I am on that block kick list. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I got a handful of them in my pocket. I know that.
Coming off the edge?
Hell yeah, like Javon Curse.
Laying out.
From time to time. But I get off was so good a lot of time. I mean, you can ask Hubert about this. Y'all get a chance to talk to him. Like, I literally had to have coaches say, don't let Marty, just let him kick it. You know what I'm saying? Marty, just let him kick it. Just let him kick it. God damn it, just let him kick it this time. You know what I'm saying?
Were you on the pump block all the way through? Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Can confirm. Ethan Tucky, five block kicks in one season.
Damn. That's a hell of a motherfucking accomplishment, bro. Because me and Connor was blocking all kind of shit.
It was like,
what I'm saying?
6 straight games, I think, with the blocked punt. I'm pretty sure.
That's fucking amazing.
Yeah. They also had an elite special teams coach that's now in the NFL as the special teams coach for the Colts. Like, he could draw. They didn't even call it punt return, Marty. They called it punt block. The punt block team.
Yeah.
Because that was Mace just said, look, we don't need a punt returner. We're going to block the punt, and we'll do it from there.
Well, his philosophy was we're going to affect the punter. He was like saying, like, we're going to affect the punter so he has a shitty punt, and we're just going to want the returner to get 10 yards, and, like, then we're good. So we either block it or we get a 10-yard return. We're not really going for – because we didn't have a weapon like you back there. We had a good – Ryan Montgomery was a good punt returner, but, I mean, obviously it wasn't Marty Gilyard. So it's kind of like, all right, let's see if we can block one. If not, just catch it, get vertical, and let's get the ball into the offense.
And what's crazy is our system was like, okay, we always had a hot side and we had a hot hold-up side. You feel me? So it's like nobody knew which side was coming. You know what I'm saying? Nobody knew which side was holding up. So we literally had guys on one side bull rushing to hold up, and then the other side, scheming up the block side on that end. And then you got me in the backfield. You got me on the back end. So I was already a threat. So 9 times out of 10, they try to kick it away. But I did something that I think our returners are not doing. You know what I'm saying? Now is I studied the shit out of the kicker. I knew his steps. I knew his operation time. You know what I'm saying? I knew where he was going to go with the ball. I knew average kind of where the ball was going to land. I knew average where he was going to punt it, where he was a 35 average on punter, 42. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Like Kevin was in the high 48s. You know what I mean? But his hang time was crazy, and he can actually boom the fuck out of the ball 60 yards. He catch it clean. Kevin would. It's the sound that you hear. Like I tore my UCL breaking this shit. Blocking this punt in practice. You know what I mean? Kevin just had a cannon leg, but you knew where the ball was going to land. Like I just knew little stuff like a left-footed punter. The ball, if it doesn't turn over, it'll drift back to my left. So even if it took off to the right, I knew I had about 5 yards it'll come back to me in the air. You know what I'm saying? And I also understood that I had a radius around me that they couldn't breach. So if you'll see me, I'm really aggressive to the ball because one, I knew we needed those hidden yards. That's how you win the hidden yards game. Even if I fair catch it, if I ran up 10 yards and caught it, that's still 10 plus yards. You know what I mean? For our offense. You know what I'm saying? And we needed all the little yards we could get because we wasn't going to pound you in the ground. You know what I mean? We needed those yards for our finesse game. You know what I mean? So it's like, it was a good thing for us, to have me back there because literally you got to account for me. But then you also got to account for our block scheme too, and you have Marcus Wall rushing up the middle to be the for the record. You know what I'm saying? So you had Marcus Wall. If he breached it, he was going to annihilate your PP. He didn't even want to block the ball. He just want to go hit. So he's running in there full speed. Fuck it, y'all come get me. And his goal was to annihilate whoever the PP was and put the PP on the punter. You know what I'm saying?
That was my role as well. I think by the looks of him, he probably did it a little bit better than me, but that was essentially they're like, we don't want you to hold up. We don't want you to do anything. Just they put me in the A gap. They're like, run as hard as you can into that 280-pound fat ass, and then try not to get a concussion, and then come back and do it 6 times a game.
You feel me? And which is hard, bro.
Good job, Roy.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Service, man. No, I mean that was basically the only thing I freaking dig on the field. So I thought it was the coolest shit. I took so much pride in it, but it does sound kind of funny when you think about it.
I mean, for me, it's like, okay, just hearing you say you had pride in it, bro. Like, for me, that's everything, because like, no matter what the fucking position is, bro, if you're not having a ball and not hanging out, like when guys say, "What you do in the league, coach? What you do in the league?" I'm like, shit, bro. When I got back the second time with Philly, I was special. I was on kickoff team. You feel what I'm saying? Was I making plays in practice? Hell yes, I was taking cats up top. You know what I mean? But we also had money invested in Deshaun Jackson, Jeremy Macklin, you know, Jason Avant. You know what I mean? So it's like, I wasn't going to really play over money. You know what I'm saying? But that kickoff team, I got Pro Bowl votes at that. You know, so like halfway through the season, they're like, "Hey, boy, you might make a Pro Bowl, boy. You know what I'm saying? Special teams, just special teams." And I'm like, "Oh shit!" And you started to know when you're becoming a threat on special team, like kickoff. Like nobody pays attention to kickoff. But where I'm at the 3. So now you gotta take a big guy and you gotta block me with the big guy. I'm too fast for him. Then you put a finesse guy in there. You know what I mean? And I'm too strong for him. So it's like, I'm making the plays. I'm fucking getting all the tackles. I'm hanging out. I'm having a ball. Took pride in it. It's like, hey, man, y'all paying me all this money. That shit for 6 plays a game, 7. That shit, I'm good. You know what I mean? Let me take pride in this. Let me go hang out a little bit. Have fun with it. Then, you know, if I got to go catch a pass or 2, I'll do that. But shit, man. Hanging out and having fun. Well, you got guys like nowadays, they say, hey, man, we need you to line up in the A gap and just rush this shit all the time. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gonna be like, man, come on, man, coach, shit, man, I should be playing fucking nose, or I should be playing Mike linebacker, coach. Come on now, you know. So it's like, it's a different headset when you know that your only job is special teams. You know what I'm saying? And I totally feel you, bro. Because like I said, my redshirt sophomore year, yeah, I got passes and shit like that, but my passion was getting back out there to return that kick. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was everything for me. So like, I'll be in the film room by myself, bro, late night. You know what I mean? Just looking at the kicker, like, where he finna go with this motherfucker? Looking at the scheme, where he finna go with this motherfucker? You know what I'm saying? Because I loved it. But I also had teammates that I had to become the punt returner because they were acting like they didn't want to do it like that. Like, I didn't want a punt return. I was like, I'm cool on kick return. You know what I'm saying? And then the punt returner came because cats kept dropping the ball, or they were scared to catch it, letting it bounce, and then fucking taking the damn punter's roll. You know what I mean? And we're losing fucking field position and stuff like that. You know, so it's like, it got hard.
Question. What did you think was easier to like make a play on, punt or kickoff with the return? So I was trying to think of it in my head. I'm like, it's like, you know, I feel like lanes can kind of get hit harder on kickoff return, but like you can also have, I feel like, more room to like be more dynamic on a punt return. But I don't know.
So
you have to tell us.
So I would have to say kickoff return, just because you have sight to the ball the whole time, right? Punt return, I got to run to a spot. Well, at least I did. I ran blindly to the spot where I knew from film study. You know what I'm saying? And I could see the punter, so I'll see his steps. And then when he kicks the ball, like, I'm running blind, I take my eyes off the ball, and then I'm running blind to a spot, and then I get my eyes back up. You know what I'm saying? Kickoff return, I'm sitting back there, I'm chilling, feet on the goal line, like, I can see the ball coming, you know, from the kick. I know what's up. You know what I mean? I can tell which way the kick's gonna go from the way the kicker's hips are. You know what I'm saying? Which might sound a little weird. Like, how can you see that? But it's like, if a kicker has his hips square and he's a right-footed kicker, you know, most of the time the ball's going to drift to my right. You know, if his hips are not square, his kick leg is pointed away. You know, like say his kick leg where I'm on the right and he's right-footed kicker, but his right hip is pointing. Let's say our sideline is on the left and his hips are pointing to the right. You know what I'm saying? Physically, he can't hook that back over to me. His hips just can't make that turn after they plant. You know what I'm saying? So I knew the ball was going to drift to, you know, my left. Vice versa, same scenario. If his off kick leg now is pointing towards the left sideline, I knew where the ball was going. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, it's like it's easier because you can see the ball. You know what I mean? And I have control over setting the lanes up. It's all on me as a returner. Like you guys, I'll make your block easy as fuck for you. You know what I'm saying? Off of my stemming and me understanding, like, okay, who's the greedy motherfucker trying to make all the plays out here? That's who I'm finna go after. I need him to stop his feet right now because the kickoff team is successful for him not stopping his feet, him being a fucking animal. So I'm finna make you do what you're supposed to do. You got to come and form fit tackle regardless, or you got to stop your feet and then buzz them and then shoot the gap regardless. That's what you're taught. So you're not going to remix that shit and do something else. So I'll come right at you and then stem up and make you think you finna get me and then bend that motherfucker and I'm literally bending you into a KO shot. Because we used to have the, you know, back then we could have a 3-man wedge. You know what I'm saying? And just, okay, y'all, let's go mow the grass on the ass. You know what I'm saying? And put all our big thumpers back there and then they just run. They're holding hands too at that. You know, Marcus Wall, Ricardo Matthews. Who the fuck am I missing? Who is back there? It's Marcus Wall, Ricardo Matthews, and I want to say Demetrius Jones might have been in that wedge too, man. I could be missing who was my third guy in the wedge, but you got a D lineman, you got crazy ass Marcus in the middle. You know what I mean? And he's literally not finna try to go to the left or the right or none of that. He's running straight, head up. With whoever running full speed, he running full speed. He ain't got no neck, bro. So when he hits you, it's like you getting hit from the waist up. You know, no bend in his neck. Like you see the picture of Marcus, he ain't got no neck, bro. You feel me? Like he can thump. Like anybody with no neck on the football field, you gotta watch out for them, man. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just helmet and shoulders, and they just ready. Ain't no bending and nothing, so he gonna hit you stiff. Every time. You know what I mean? So you'll watch guys after the first two. They start to run around shit, and there go your lanes. You know what I'm saying? So kickoff for sure. Because punt, it's like everybody up on you. You know, you can't touch the long snapper. You know what I'm saying? So long snapper snaps, and he's probably the first one to get out. Then you got somebody on a one-on-one on the outside at corner. So, and it's typically not a starter. You know what I'm saying? So this guy has at least 1 or 2 problems on the outside. He either don't have feet or he can press real good. You know what I mean? So it's like when you're dealing with that kind of situation, I know somebody on the outside is coming. I know that somebody the long snapper's coming up the middle. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna have to catch and go vertical right now. But what if one of my interior linemen missed the block? So now I'm running to a KO shot for it.
But you can't get tackled by the long snapper, right? You got to shake his ass immediately, or you're not going to hear the end of it.
Oh my god!
Because once one of those dudes gets their tackle like that, you just made their life. I mean, I know a lot of the specialists back when we played. They made anytime they made a play, man, it was literally like they'd have their phone up for a week just showing me like a tackle they made in practice. It's like they're highlighted. If they tackled Marty Gilyard on a punt return 1, you'll probably never forget it, and they wouldn't either.
My teammates wouldn't let me forget it. That's the thing. Like they wouldn't. It's that stuff like that. We couldn't get away from. You know what I mean? So like you had to do something with it, bro. You had to that long snap. You had to do something with it. You know what I mean? You got to make him, you know, slide into first base is what I used to call it. You know what I'm saying? You got to make bruh slide into first base. You know what I mean?
You go this way, and there's just flying down.
Oh, hell yeah, man, because they don't do no tackling drills, bro. Their whole job is disruption or just to scare you. You know what I mean? So guys that get close to me on punt return and just scream, hit you to just, you know what I'm saying, to try to get your attention somehow, some way. But
what's
that makes
the weirdest
it hard.
thing someone ever yelled at you?
Oh my God.
Okay. This might not be very appropriate, I'm guessing.
I don't even know if this is. I don't even think this one here is good enough for. I think this one might have to stay out of the podcast. I'm gonna go mild. I'm gonna go to one of the milder, serious ones, I guess. You know, one of them was, I got tackled, and dude, who we were playing? Was it Florida? Yeah, we were playing Florida, and I get tackled on kickoff. No, I take that back. We're in Miami. We're playing Tech. And I get tackled on kickoff return. You know what I mean? And dude humps me, bro. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? And he's all in my ear with it, though. Like, yeah. And I'm losing it, bro. I'm like, man, I'll get this motherfucker. Get off me, bro. You feel me? And he a big dog, too. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, bro, get off me, bro. Like, bro, you nasty, bro.
That's terrible.
Like, bro, you nasty, bro. You know what I'm saying? So my teammates getting them off, you know what I mean? And I just felt so violated, man, as a man, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, bro, I just felt so nasty, you know what I mean? I was so pissed. I think the next series we get, I want to say I had routed up Cam Chandler, you know what I mean, in the back of the end zone on a corner route. And I was like, you know, do it now. You know, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like, but the stuff that came out of his mouth, I was bland with it, but the stuff that came out of his mouth, bro,
but yeah, dude, 7 catches, 158 yards, and a touchdown.
Yeah. Hey, that is. Do you attribute your success in that game to that?
Yeah, bro, they had me mad. Like after that happened, I'm like, if I'm not mistaken, that was the first kickoff. You know what I mean? The first kick,
KOR. To you every game. I wonder if your stats would have been better.
Bro, I was salty. I'm not even gonna lie. I was salty, man. I was like, and he wasn't on the field. That's the thing. He wasn't like on offense or defense. He was solely special.
That's a guy like me. That's a sick bastard going down there, just trying to find any way to mess with the star player. I don't even think I could have came up. I never once in my. I'm a pretty big dumbass. I never once thought about ever doing that. So.
Bro, that would take a whole man. Like if I ain't have my teammates, bro, I was losing it. You know, I get to the sideline. I'm like, man, motherfucker, man, bro, just, bro. You know what I'm saying?
You couldn't even talk.
No, you know,
it worked. Hey, whatever, as ridiculous as it is, it like he did. Like mess you up a little bit just for a couple minutes.
Bro, I was upset.
You were thinking about him.
I was so upset. I was just like, oh my God, man. I got my peoples up here. I got little tenderonies on Miami. You feel me? You know, they at the game.
They're gonna be asking questions after the game, like, do you know him? Like, what?
Like, my brother wouldn't let me hit the end up. You know what I'm saying? My brother was like, boy, I seen him hunching you, boy. You know what I'm saying? Look like you had tooted up a little bit, boy. I'm like, come on, bro. You're like, come on, bro. He said, look like you rose your hips up a little bit, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, come on, man. You know what I mean? But that was one of the wilder ones. I mean, outside of like, you know, me getting my dreads pulled and, you know, a guy like, man, you know, my bad, bro. I thought you was my old lady. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, what? Bro, you just... Man, you know, that's, you know, now I don't know if it's your, but towards the back end of my career, I wore a ponytail. You know what I'm saying? And the ponytail was to kind of keep my hair in one spot. You know what I mean? Because when I didn't wear it, you know, they flung everywhere, and guys that try to press, they'll grab it.
Yeah,
they'll grab it, you know, and yank it. You know, they wouldn't. It's just like I tell kids, don't wear no jury out there. You're not chased.
It's not a penalty to pull someone down by the hair.
Hell no. You know, unless the hair is on the back of the jersey, which is weird. So it's like unless the hair is on the back of the jersey, you know what I'm saying? It's a total go. You know what I mean? So if your stuff is hanging across your shoulders, you don't want yours to have long hair hanging on a tackle target. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like the referees, and I've talked to a million of them. Bro, he keep grabbing my hair, ref. And the ref's like, well, there's no rule against hair grabbing. I'm sorry. Like, you're the one that wanted long hair. I'm like, damn, you know. well, that sucks. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. While I'm looking at one of my dreads with a shell on the end of it, just on the grass. You know what I mean?
Ouch.
Jeez.
Yeah. Now, granted, I didn't have nothing took from the scalp, but I've had these beautiful things, man, broken in half, bro. You see 6 inches on the ground.
I thought you were gonna say it was your scalp.
Oh no,
no, bro, that would.
Yeah, then it would have been Marty. So why did you get this enticed penalty in this game? You know what I'm saying? It would have been that kind of conversation.
But no, another awesome quick last story, and then are we doing the mailbag, guys? Is that happening in this show? Chad, where you at?
Probably not.
No, I was gonna say that's a.
We haven't lived this long in so long.
I mean, I will say real quick, since that was like a pretty extended riffing with Royer.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, we probably should just say.
That's my favorite riff we've done here.
There you go.
Fiercely independent and unabashedly innovative. New Riff produces award-winning bourbon, rye whiskey, and gin at their distillery in Newport, Kentucky. The Aquafire Tasting Room, located on the 3rd floor of the distillery, features cocktails, flights, and pours of New Riff's entire line of spirits, including rare, limited edition, and distillery-exclusive releases. Bearcat Journal listeners can save 50% on distillery tours when you use the code BEARCATS24. For more information or to book a tour, visit newriffdistilling.com. That was the greatest Riffin' with Royer, brought to you by New Riff in the history of the Bearcat Bounce podcast.
I loved it.
Brent's feeling like that guy on the opening kickoff at the end.
I riffing with Royer. My absolute favorite segment. Another one of my favorite times, Marty, and then we got to probably wrap this one up. Is when I believe Tony overthrew you purposefully to get a little bit more love, have you dive into the crowd, and then you had one of the more memorable moments in Bearcat football history. Just talk about that, because I mean, everything you did afterwards, taking your helmet off, hugging the kid and everything, it just embodies the type of person that you were. Just everyone loved you.
I mean, I'm the cool uncle, man. I've been the cool uncle forever. You know what I mean? Like, I got pictures of me and, 8 nieces and nephews all, pallet on the floor in my room, just want to sleep with Unc. You know what I'm saying? So I've always been that cool uncle, cool big cousin / uncle. You know what I mean? So, like, when I went over the stands, you know what I'm saying? I actually was trying to jump over the wall and just kind of land, you know what I mean? But I got caught, like my knees, or I got clipped right on them, just below my knee by the top of the wall. And that just kind of, lost control. I hit Lil D, like almost square in the chest, man. You know what I'm saying? The little kid. And I remember this just a reaction. I popped my helmet off and I grabbed him because he was going ape. Like he was really, 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 really shocked and just in a state of hurt, it seemed like, you know what I mean? So I just grabbed him and picked him up and I was like, hey, you all right? Trust me, you all right? You all right? You all right, baby? You all right? You good? And he's like, yeah. You'll see him shaking his head and then you see his mom come. He calms down and he looks and he sees, oh my God. And he goes, ah! And turns up again on me, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, okay, it's time to get back to the game. All right, I see you good though? He's like, yeah. And then I hop back over the wall. I'm like, all right, y'all, let's go. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But that was just me being me, man. I mean, my whole ineligible year, I spent that whole year for the most part with one of my best friends in Cincy. She's like a sister. Her name's Laura Ellis. She worked at the Wesley Chapel Mission Center, and we spent a lot of time with the troubled youth there, and we took a lot of time, man, to feed the homeless, and it was just like, I'm homeless feeding the homeless. I'm out here with kids that ain't got no house like that, don't have no home, and so it kind of helped me, look at things a little differently before I even got to that point. So when I got to that point, it was just like, all right, man, he just needed some help. He needed to be calmed down. He needed to be embraced. Because again, if you have a parent, bro, all of us are boys here. There's nothing more warm than sitting either head on your mom's lap and she playing in your hair, rubbing your back or something like that. Or when your mom gives you that hug and she says, hey, son. And you're like, I don't give a fuck if you're 50, bro. You hug your mama you turn into like a little 4-year-old all over again. Thanks, Mom. You know what I'm saying? I love you so much. You bury your head probably in her bosom. You know what I mean? Nothing on that end, but it's like it's something about being held by that parent that showed that stands for security for you.
Yeah.
And I just felt like he needed some security. You know what I'm saying? And he felt it. I gave it. He felt it. He embraced it. And if I'm not mistaken, he was me for Halloween that year.
Yeah, there you go, man. I think that was that game right around Halloween time too. So yeah, it was a nice little flow there. Yeah.
So he came. I remember he had a little wig on. You know what I'm saying? They had little white pieces of paper on the end of his little wig, little dread wig, and he body painted his whole body. Like, again, I don't think we're gonna have nobody that does what we did at that time. You know what I mean? Just because, like, for me, I have my own fan club. I don't know if that has been done yet, but literally Section 133 was Gilyard gang. You know what I'm saying? And they went absolutely ape every time I came out, every time I made a play, you know what I mean? And that just, I'm the people's champ. So it's like that whole aspect of my career kind of got summed up in a nutshell. Like, if anybody didn't watch anything, like, that game would have showed you again who Marty Gilyard is as a person, because a lot of it's been misskewed, when my appearance, my past, you know what I'm saying? A lot of those things kind of get lost in the fact that I'm actually an A1 guy. You know what I'm saying? I love everybody, no matter what it is that you do, who you are, what color you is, you know what I'm saying? I'll find some good in you and I'll bring it out, so that's how I was. That's just how I've always been. I can't help it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But yeah, man, that was the play that kind of transported everything and skyrocketed everything for Marty Gilyard at that point. Because I still wasn't a good receiver then. You know what I mean?
You were on your way up.
I was, but I still wasn't good.
Yeah, you were pretty damn good, I'll be honest. But 5,700 total all-purpose yards, 25 receiving touchdowns. The list goes on and on, Marty. Anything else out of you guys with Marty, Aaron, Ryan, Chad? Hop back in.
No, this has been amazing. This also the longest interview I think we've ever done on any of our channels.
Yeah.
I don't know that anyone's done the full 2.5. Chad, anyone you can think of that's gone 2.5 with us?
I don't think I remember it. I remember a couple 2s. I don't think I really had a 2.5.
I agree.
It's like a Rogan pod, like a little Joe Rogan. Ryan,
I mean, we should expect nothing less. It is Marty Gilyard who takes everything to a different level.
Hey, we need to tell the guys that at the brewery that we need to talk. I'm trying to get me a drink named after me.
Okay. The Gilyard Gobbler.
I don't know about that.
No, we'll call it the Marty. Just the Marty.
Just call it the Marty, baby. You feel me?
Gilyard Gobbler.
Trying to do a little alliteration.
Ironically, that shit
Marty, shoot that down right now.
Yeah.
Think about it now. Just think about it. Around Halloween time, right? You come out with a Marty with a Gilyard Gobbler.
Yeah. See?
You know what I'm saying?
I guess I'm down the wrong path.
Kink got the back end and just tell the people, look, man, 2 drinks and you can't even talk. You just gonna gobble.
There you go. Anything else, Chad?
I do need. I mean, we should probably do a real quick before we go. We need to do that was a quick paper supply timestamp. Your local and family-owned restaurant supply company for all your non-food products. They service over 150 restaurants with weekly low minimum next day deliveries. They provide a wide range of food service products from to-go containers, cups, custom printed products, eco-friendly, and much more. They also have cleaning and restroom supplies for all your janitorial needs. Call Nick 513-470-2029 and reference Bearcats for 20% off your first month of purchases.
Boom.
There we go.
And
we got all
and
the
also, Marty. Well, no, Marty was in his car earlier, and if you are in your car currently and you're driving and listening to the pod or something, and you look down, and you're like, hey, I could use an oil change. Head over to Danco Transmission and Auto Care. Danco Joe will hook you up. Say the GOAT Marty sent you. Say Chad sent you. Say Marcus Waugh sent you. And Danco Joe will get you $10 off your next oil change, 10% off your next fixing over there at Danco Joe. We love you, Danco. But guys, anything further? I mean, I was going to dive in, ask about your sports science appearance. That was one of my favorite things ever on ESPN back in the day. But hey, I mean, we'll save that for another talk some other time. But
if you say Marcus Waugh actually appears and then lifts your car up himself for them to do the oil change.
Do the fix. Exactly.
You have to say it three times.
Yeah. It's like Beetlejuice. Yeah. Marcus Waugh.
Comes through the wall like the Kool-Aid man.
And then try Marty, and say Joel DeBlanco at the end, and Joel will bounce in too, right, Ryan? There we
go. Yeah.
Marty, thank you, brother. That was awesome. Love it. Appreciate you. We'll have you on again soon. We can do another 2 hours. We got all kinds of stuff we can still talk about.
Yeah, I'm with it, baby. Y'all just let me know.
Yeah.
Marty, appreciate you and all you've done for the university.
Like that.
He's gone.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. Well, see you later, Marty. Well, you know what, guys? That was good. But Texas Tech this weekend.
We still have a year this year. I almost forgot about the game and the game next week.
Bearcats are 3-1. Bearcats are looking good. Oh, there you go.
There he is.
But yeah, no, we were saying 3-1. Bearcats head to Texas Tech this weekend, 8 p.m. kickoff. We just got so
Bearcat Journal watch party at the Grail. Unfortunately, we will not have the basketball team there. The late kickoff time kind of screwed up our plans. At noon or 3:30, and we would have had an autograph event with the basketball team. But 8 o'clock kind of screwed that up. So
we still got Holy Grail.
Oh, it's downtown now. It's right across from the Red Stadium. It's the biggest bar in the city. Yeah.
I mean, it's been that. Holy Grail's been the Grail now. You know what I mean? Especially with them pictures. I ain't even gonna lie.
Good little spot. But well, guys, this has been awesome. But for everyone assembled, seriously, thank you, of course, to Danco Transmission Auto Care. Thank you to Quick Paper Supply. Thank you to New Riff. Literally, the best segment of New Riff I've ever had. I'm simply giddy with joy over here. But for the pals, the crew, and the GOAT, Aaron Smith, Chad Brendel, Ryan Royer, and Marty Gilyard, I am Brent Young. Yet another fantastic PvP presented by BearcatJournal.com.
See ya.
Bye.